production of Hockey Night in Oswego. Only on WTOP.
Hello and welcome to a very special hockey broadcast here on WTOP 10, as it is Hockey Night in Oswego with a little bit of a twist, as your Oswego State Lakers will head up to the North Country to face off with arch rival Plattsburgh here in Oswego, live at the Al Roker Studio alongside Owen Gallagher and Zachary Haynes. I am Brian Rudman. We're very honored to bring you this game, as this is the first game WTOP 10 has broadcasted in an away arena in 6 years, the first time we've ever done one in Plattsburgh. We'll hear later from Matt Watling and Luke Owens up at the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena in Plattsburgh, as they'll have the call for the game. But first, guys, we got a lot to talk about in the pregame show, starting with last night's Oswego matchup against Potsdam, a 3-2 victory for the Lakers. Guys, what did they do to get the job done?
Well, I mean, Oswego capitalized on their power play, going 2 for 3 on the night. But their penalty kill, of course, is the king of special teams for them, only giving up 2 goals on 15 penalty kills on 21 shots, just over 1 shot per penalty kill.
And the one battle that they did lose last night was the face-off battle. They lost 29-26. They're not doing too great against conference opponents. Their percentage is .434 for conference opponents.
And guys, power play has been a big deal for the Lakers, especially in the offensive zone this year. They got 2 in last night's game. How did they get that done?
Well, I mean, it's just moving the puck around. We're going to talk about some key guys as far as their offense and working on the power play. But again, it's just puck movement. You got to be able to pass the puck efficiently, and that's the key to the power play.
And Oswego wasn't the only team in action last night, as Plattsburgh also had a game against Cortland in the SUNYAC, a 5-1 victory at home, snapping a 4-game losing streak at home. Guys, what did they do to get the job done? Obviously,
they had their shot game under control, 33-29 on that. A big thing for Cortland is that they gave up a lot of those shots. Correction, 39-22. Power plays for Plattsburgh, 4-3 right there in the faceoff. They won every battle last night. That's a big thing for Plattsburgh, a big build-up for today's game against the Lakers. It's going to be a big matchup for them.
Yeah, I mean, really, the work starts from the crease out. They had losses 6-3, 4-0, 3-0, and 7-3. They couldn't really get their offense going, but really their defense struggled mightily in those games, and they corrected that in that one.
And guys, they're one of the better penalty kills in Division III. We talked about power play for Oswego. What does Plattsburgh need to do on the penalty kill to keep Oswego out off the scoreboard?
Well, hopefully they shouldn't be on the penalty kill a lot if you're looking at their perspective from it. Anytime you take a penalty is going to be a bad time, and putting Oswego on the power play could be ineffective to try to win this game. But they got to lock it down on D. Again, secure the crease area. You don't want any kind of rebound opportunities. That's the first thing that'll kill you.
And Plattsburgh's just got to stay out of the box. They don't want to get that chance for Oswego to give them the power play. They're one of the best in the nation in power plays and converting on those power plays. If you're Plattsburgh, you got to be sweating about what penalties you're going to allow that night.
And guys, this is obviously a big rivalry between these two teams. And especially in rivalries, penalties is important. But talk about the rivalry and what it means to the players and the coaches.
I mean, obviously the coaches have a long history here. Bob Emery was even a part of the Boston University-Boston College rivalry, so he knows exactly what it's like to be a part of a large Division I rivalry. And he said that this has a chance to rival that. This could be the best rivalry in all of college hockey.
And you know, this isn't recognized much by the bigger medias and stuff as some of the other rivalries in sports, but it's definitely one of the best Division III hockey rivalries you're going to see in the entire nation.
And guys, when it comes to rivalries, games tend to be more physical and get a little chippy. Is that something you're looking for in tonight's game?
Especially whenever the Lakers are playing, the game always seems to be vamped up in physicality. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of hitting tonight.
And definitely, if we saw from the whiteout game, if we're going to see anything similar tonight in Plattsburgh, it's going to get chippy and it's going to get physical quick.
And guys, head coach Ed Gosick for the Lakers has talked in the past about the importance of this rivalry. You can see a quote from back in 2012. Quote, rivalries exist between two teams that have had great history, traditions, and battles, end quote. And guys, what are your thoughts about Ed Gosick's quote right there?
I mean, honestly, Gosick, he talks about these are some big games that Plattsburgh and Oswego seem to square off in, whether it's the SUNYAC championships, as we just had a couple years ago, but even towards the end of the regular season, it always seems like these two teams are at the top of the SUNYAC division or conference.
And you know, that's a big thing. Plattsburgh is a little off their game this year. They're getting the number 3 seed. We'll see that later. But the traditions of these two teams, I mean, throwing tennis balls onto the ice, throwing bagels onto the ice when the Lakers are home, and the traditions in the Ronald B. Stafford Arena and also in the Romney House and here in the Marano Campus Center.
And guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Coming up after the break on WTOP 10's Hockey Night in Oswego, we'll be talking about the season stats for both teams. We'll get to players to watch as we get you set for puck drop between the Oswego State Lakers and the Plattsburgh Cardinals.
Hello?
Josh, the stream's not working. We need you to fix it right now.
The stream's down? I'll be right there.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Always. Lock it up.
Jake.
Hi.
What's wrong?
It's just a bad day, you know.
Oh, Creative Services can help you.
And welcome back to Hockey Night in Oswego, right here live in the Al Roker studio in Oswego, alongside Owen Gallagher and Zachary Haynes. I am Brian Rudman. And guys, we're going to get a chance coming up to look at the Oswego season stats to see what they've really done well. So, Owen, why don't you start us off? Take us through what Oswego's done this year.
I mean, Oswego really relies on their offense. You'll see here they're high in goals, high in assists, which you love to see moving the puck around. The shots per game are at 30.7. Perfect if you were an offensive coach.
And definitely on the more defensive side, but also their power play goals. They're at 30 this season, one of the best in the nation for power play. Their penalty kill, not the greatest, but definitely in the top tier for killing off that time.
And guys, we can see those stats there, and we talked about it a little bit in the open. How important is the special teams game in tonight's matchup?
Special teams is going to be the difference in this game tonight. Both teams are fairly evenly matched when it comes to 5-on-5 hockey, but once you have a man advantage or if you're playing a man down, that's going to be huge. How do you respond to that situation, and then how do you convert on those opportunities?
And Plattsburgh, last night, they got 4 power play goals. That's a big thing. They nearly doubled what they had for most of the season, so they're coming in with a hot hand for that.
And definitely, and now we're going to move on to the Plattsburgh Cardinals to see what they've really done well throughout the year. And they come in as the 3 seed in the SUNYAC. Guys, what have been their strengths throughout this season?
I'm going to tell you what, defense wins championships. We've seen this all throughout sports history. Defense always wins. But the big thing for right now, their offense, not so much as what they usually do. 63 goals, 96 assists. So they are passing it around, but not as much as they should be. They average about 33 shots clean per game. That means they're getting a lot of shots up and they're peppering the goalie.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their power play still seems to be struggling. They couldn't get it going last night in their game against Cortland. And the penalty kill, though, #1 in the country. We focused on, the juxtaposition between these two teams. One focuses on defense, the other focuses on offense and relies on that to be their spark. Plattsburgh's going to be the team that works from the crease out to start their offense.
And guys, if you look at those stats, Plattsburgh had 33 shots per game. With David Richer in goal today for the Lakers, how important is it for them to keep that puck away from Richer?
Oh, that's huge. I mean, Richer, once he gets peppered with shots, there comes a point in time where there are certain stoppages in play, and I'm not sure exactly.
I get what you're saying. Is Richer, he's really strong as a goalie, but if he keeps getting peppered with shots, he does wear down after some time. So the defensemen really have to step up in this game today.
And guys, now let's take a look at your players to watch for today's big rivalry matchup. Owen, let's start with you. Who do you have for us?
We're going to start in the man in net for Plattsburgh. We're going to start with their goalie, Jimmy Paridi. Parida is going to be their leader in the net there. 2 goals allowed, .932 save percentage, 8-7-1 record as a starter. Parida is going to be huge. Only allowed 3 goals against Oswego with this high-powered offense that they have. That's actually a pretty good stat line. Now for Oswego, we're going to talk about Anthony Passero. He's got 9 goals, 19 assists, and 28 points on the year. He's had 8 points in the last 4 games, so he's on a hot streak. Last game against Plattsburgh on the 8th of December, he tallied a goal, so he's going to be huge in this coming matchup now against the Cardinals.
And Zach, now why don't you tell us who you are looking for to have an impact in this game tonight?
Well, like I said earlier, defense wins championships, and that's on both of these teams. For Plattsburgh, I got Matthew Aruro. Let's start off with this. 2 goals on the season. He's got 12 assists, 2 from last night, putting him at 14 points on the season. Giving him, that's fantastic for him, especially since he is a freshman. He has a lot of ambition going into this game. He's trying to prove himself, but he might take a couple more opportunities more than some veterans would. And for the Oswego side, another defenseman, I got Carter Allen, number 2. He has 2 goals on the season, 6 assists. That gives him 8 points in the season. But let me tell you about this, 20 blocks in the season. He's only 3rd in blocks in the team, right behind Curry and Novik. He's going to be a top defender tonight. He's someone you're going to want to watch out for.
Very good. Both guys, all 4 of those guys, we're going to look to have a big impact in this game. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up on the other side, we'll take a look at the SUNYAC standings, and we'll talk a little bit about the impact that Travis Broman will have on the game tonight. You're watching Hockey Night in Oswego right here on WTOP 10.
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Hey guys, when we're not doing the real deal, what do you like to do in your free time?
Well, I like to watch WTOP 10 movies on demand.
Yeah, me too. There's such a wide variety of films that anybody on campus can watch.
And it's free.
And it's free.
How do I get to this movies on demand?
Well, all you have to do is go to WTOP10.com and click the Movies on Demand tab.
Hey, let's go watch one right now to review on our next show.
Hello and welcome back to Hockey Night in Oswego, live here from the Al Roker studio. Owen Gallagher, Zachary Haynes, I'm Brian Rudman. Once again, we're going to take a quick look at the SUNYAC standings as they stand now, as the top 6 teams are all locked into their playoff positions. So we can take a look now, guys. At the top of it, it's Geneseo and Oswego, 2 teams who faced off last weekend, had a 4-4 tie. What does that tell you about the Lakers heading into the playoffs?
I mean, the Lakers are going to have a tough stretch now towards the end of the season, so you're going to be looking at some rematches that you saw down the stretch. You're going to have to make some adjustments, so this is where the coaching is definitely going to come into play.
I mean, rematches are going to be a big thing. Teams change from the regular season to the playoff mode. The same team that you played earlier multiple times may not be the same team you get in the playoffs, so definitely watch out for that. Don't sleep on any of these bottom teams.
And guys, looking at the bottom of the standings, it's Potsdam, Cortland, and Morrisville State, all of whom are eliminated. They have some games tonight. What do these games mean for these teams?
Honestly, coaches are just going to take a look at these games and see what they can improve on for next season. It's more just building for next year. You're kind of wrapping up this year. There's not much invested anymore into this season, so it's just a formality of concluding the year off.
Well, the one game I'm looking for is Fredonia versus Morrisville. Morrisville still has a chance to ruin Fredonia's parade heading into the playoffs, put a little damper on their morale heading into that situation where they don't know where they're going, and that's going to be something for Morrisville to look out for.
Definitely. And talking about those matchups, it'll be Buff State playing against SUNY Canton in an on-conference opponent. Non-conference, they won't be in the conference. Fredonia visits Morrisville State tonight, and then Cortland versus Potsdam. So looking at the bottom of the standings, though, those 4 teams who are playing on Wednesday, who poses the biggest threat to Oswego?
I think Plattsburgh is going to pose the biggest threat to Oswego. Say Oswego beats them tonight, it's always tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. Not to mention Plattsburgh does kind of have a long history of owning Oswego when it comes to this building.
That's not who I'm looking out for. I'm looking out for Fredonia. You remember last season, Oswego hosted Fredonia. They thought it was going to be an easy win, and Fredonia ruins the parade for them. Definitely a team you do not want to see in the playoffs. They can just switch it on just like that.
And now we're going to move to a little bit of talk about Travis Broman, Oswego player who got suspended in that Geneseo game for a hit. Guys, what did you see in that hit?
Well, I mean, again, this has some SUNYAC implications as far as the playoffs go. Oswego would have been forced to win at Plattsburgh had they dropped the game against Potsdam, and this was a big loss for them last night.
Definitely a big loss for them. You see Broman going up the center ice right there. Spink trying to catch up to it. Broman was only doing his assignment. Boom, there's a hit. He was only doing his assignment of clearing up a lane for Spink, but slow to get up. That's definitely a big issue right there. Broman did the hit. What I thought was necessarily a clean hit, but it's just a big issue right now, and he did get suspended, but he's back tonight, and that's what matters.
And guys, we had a chance to sit down with Lakers head coach Ed Gosick to get his thoughts on Broman and his impact tonight.
Well, obviously he had a very good game against Geneseo. He had the 2 goals, and it felt like he was starting to get into a rhythm with Pissarro and Spink. So obviously last night hurt the chemistry a little bit. This time of year, you want to be as consistent as you can with your lineup, so the guys know where they stand. You start to, at this point in the season, they play as a unit and not as individuals. So hopefully he can get back on where he was last Saturday night tonight. He's not a freshman anymore. He's been here all season long. He understands what it takes. He understands what's necessary to be successful, and we'll need him to bring his A game tonight.
And guys, with Broman back in the lineup tonight, what kind of impact can we expect out of him?
Huge impact from Broman, but unfortunately he's going to have to replace 2 Lakers skaters tonight.
That's definitely going to be a big set of skates to fill right there. Filling in for 2 players, like you said, it's going to be a huge impact for him.
And guys, those 2 skaters who are out are Michael Gillespie and Josh LeBlanc, both out with injuries. What kind of impact is that on the Lakers lineup tonight?
I mean, with Gillespie, you're looking at the second leader in assists. Again, 23 points in 22 games, and he does it on the defensive end as well. He's 3rd on the team as far as forwards go in block shots. So again, you're missing a 2-way forward there. Could be big in this game.
And another 2-way forward, LeBlanc. He's really good on the defensive side. On the offensive side, he's really good at creating offensive opportunities, especially in front of the goalie. So you're definitely going to be feeling that tonight.
And we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we'll be sending it out to the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena to get to the keys to the game from Matt Watling and Luke Owens. You're watching Hockey Night in Oswego right here on WTOP 10.
The second I got on the campus, I knew Oswego was the place to go.
There's a place for everybody at Oswego.
This school just opens the world to you. Have the opportunity to explore and to learn so many different things, not only about yourself, but the people around you and the world.
It definitely is about the student. I felt it to be very about me. Now that I'm here, I can't imagine myself anywhere else.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
And welcome back to Hockey Night in Oswego right here on WTOP 10. We are still live in the Al Roker studio here in Oswego. Once again, Owen Gallagher and Zachary Haynes. I am Brian Rudman. And right now, we are going to send it live to the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena where Matt Watling and Luke Owens are waiting. They will be on the call for the game later tonight. But right now, they are going to be bringing you the keys to the game live up in Plattsburgh. Guys, what do you got for us tonight on this matchup?
All right, thanks, guys. Matt Watling here with Luke Owens in Plattsburgh at the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena. Now, Plattsburgh has not been great at home, sporting a sub-500 record of 4-5-2. Luke, what do they need to do to get back to 500 at home?
You know, Matt, you mentioned that tough non-conference record at home, but when they hit the road, it's been a better sign for the Cardinals, and since they entered SUNYAC play. So tonight, they're going to have to do some things to beat the Lakers to close out that SUNYAC conference play. And first and foremost, you've got to play a little bit better in front of Jimmy Parita. Give him that early lead. He's been great this year in between the pipes for the Cardinals, but they're at their best when they score early, they let their team play in front of him, and the game doesn't rest as much in his hands. He's going to see a lot of shots tonight from this Lakers team, but if he can get that early lead, the Cardinals are in a great spot. And second, they want to play their style of hockey. Plattsburgh State, they're big, they're strong, they're physical, but they want to slow it down. Oswego State's going to push the tempo here, but if you're Plattsburgh State, play within yourselves, play that slowed down tempo, and that's where they're going to be successful. And third, use that home crowd energy. We're at a great atmosphere here. It's going to be a rowdy barn tonight. Last time these two teams met in Plattsburgh, it was a year ago, just a touch under 1,900 people, and that was a game in November. This is senior night, the last home game. It's going to be rowdy in here, and we're excited. It's going to be rocking.
Right, and speaking of playing within yourselves for Plattsburgh, Oswego State won the special teams battle in Oswego back in December, scored one of the 9 power play goals that Plattsburgh has allowed. And now speaking of Oswego, they want to spoil this senior night for Plattsburgh, and how do they do it?
Well, first they started on the penalty kill. You know, Matt, they struggled a little bit in the SUNYAC game against Geneseo where they allowed 3 power play goals, but they really played within themselves last night against Potsdam, killing all 3 penalties. That's when the Lakers are at their best, when they settle down with that great penalty kill unit. And Plattsburgh hasn't been great on the power play, so this should be a good game for Oswego State to get back within themselves. And second, they want to use that speed early and often. Oswego State wants to set the tone out of the gate. Plattsburgh wants to slow it down, while Oswego's going to want to slow it up here, especially on the road. There might be some tired legs, but playing the back-to-back in a rivalry game, they want to spoil this senior night. And lastly, the Lakers want to use that depth to their advantage. They really do run 4 lines deep, and they score on all 4 lines. So use that depth to their advantage. Plattsburgh State is a little bit top-heavy. Oswego State can use that to their advantage.
Right, and speaking of that depth, Oswego has a dynamic third line with Travis Broman, Tanner Spink, and Anthony Pissarro. And Broman was suspended last game, obviously, and the Lakers really could have used him in a gritty, really good win against Potsdam.
Yeah, you mentioned Travis Broman coming back from that suspension. The Lakers could definitely use him in their lineup tonight. Maybe some fresh legs for the Lakers. They could use some playing a back-to-back. As you mentioned, they kind of had to grind out a win last night, and that third line has been so point productive, and it's nice to get 20 points back in Travis Broman.
Right, and that's all the time for us here at the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena in Plattsburgh. Now back to you guys in the Al Roker studio in Oswego.
Thanks, guys. That's all the time we have for the pregame show. Coming up after the break, Matt and Luke will have the call to the game up in Plattsburgh for a 7 o'clock puck drop. But be sure to stick around after the first period, as Owen, Zach, and I will be back for the intermission report. You're watching Hockey Night in Oswego right here on WTOP 10.
Hello?
Josh, the stream's not working. We need you to fix it right now.
The stream's down? I'll be right there.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Hey, good morning, James.
Morning.
James, wake up. It's Rise and Shine time. James, Rise and Shine. James, wake up. We're starting the show.
Good morning and welcome back to Rise and Shine at 9. I'm James Gattato here with your next update.
When you are in space, you can't run down to the store to buy parts. You have to improvise with what you have on your mission. Making is when there is something new that was not in existence at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
It's an incredible sense of accomplishment when you have made something. That's why I make. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
How do we afford all this?
Hi there. You might wonder what a famous Hollywood celebrity like me is doing reading in the dark. Is this some new sort of Hollywood method acting? No, this is quite real.
Did you know that Americans use about 4 times as much energy per year as the global average? We waste energy left and right, despite the fact that the dirty fossil fuels we use to power our energy sources wreak havoc on the natural world and destroys valuable wildlife habitats.
By reading with my solar-powered night vision goggles, I'm saving energy and looking sleek.
You don't have to sit in the dark like Ed Begley Jr. to save the world. Fight climate change by speaking up for cleaner, smarter energy, including rooftop solar.
Oh, that's way better. Oh.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at Better Than Ed.
Defense there.
fired by Cam Berry, but now here comes Isaac. 3-on-2 opportunity here. Here's Emerson. Emerson takes a shot, and he goes top left on Jimmy Parita. Gillespie. Isaac shoots, he scores! Josh Isaac on the power play. Oswego takes the lead. Opportunity for Oswego, and a goal! Anthony Passero!
Hockey night in Oswego starts now.
Welcome to the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena as the Lakers have traveled to Plattsburgh to take on the Cardinals. Matt Watling alongside Luke Owens in Plattsburgh for the final game of the regular season. And although both teams have their seats locked up for the SUNYAC tournament, the Lakers cannot afford to take games off as they look to surge their way to the national title.
Yeah, Matt, when we talked to Devin Campbell right before whiteout weekend, when the Lakers were struggling a little bit, he mentioned not taking that 5th loss. The Lakers currently sit at 4 losses with 1 game to go. It's a big game for the Lakers in terms of NCAA at-large bids. They usually like to accept teams with 5 or less losses, and that's where the Lakers are looking for a big win tonight.
Right, of course, that would solidify them with only being able to lose 5 games if they win tonight, because that would be one SUNYAC play if they go in the playoffs, rather, if they do lose. But here, face-off awaiting senior night as, of course, Plattsburgh sends out their line of seniors, Pat Egan, Cam Owens, and Cole Stallard on for the draw. And Plattsburgh wins it. Pizzo fires in a dump-in. Riche stops it for the Lakers, and Campbell picks it up. And then they'll lose the battle, but a big hit on Barber. And Max Novick chases the puck down in his own end. Just fires it out, but not past Cam Owens, who spins away and gets into the Oswego end. Cam Owens picks it back up, looks for a point pass, but it's deflected to Stallard with a shot and a good block save by Riche. Owens back out behind the net, and he will pick it up behind the net and slow it down a little bit. Max Novick with it now for the Lakers, streaking out of his own end. Fires a dump pass, but not good for Jody Sullivan, and that'll be an icing with just 19:23 to go here in the first period.
Yeah, and it was a big question of who would come out and set the tone. It looks like Plattsburgh is coming out and kind of push the tempo, something maybe we weren't expecting. We might have been expecting a little bit of a slower pace, but you know, senior night, they have that jolt of energy, and the Lakers need a counter.
Yeah, most definitely. They're going to send out their second line here with Ross Sloan, the lone senior on that line.
Ross Sloan just won the fans' vote for the fan favorite player of the year, the senior getting honored, and they do love their seniors here, as 3 years in a row, seniors have been honored with that award.
And Plattsburgh wins the draw, back to the point. Middleton loses it, and it's a 2-on-1 with Novick. Novick looks for a shot. Oh, wait, shot, save, rebound, just goes behind the net. Plattsburgh picks it up in their own end. Jacob Engvall, the senior, fires in, and Curry battles his man, and delayed offside, lets Nanadol pick it up. Zizek misses the pass, but Sloan picks it up for Plattsburgh and will dump it in for a line change.
Max Novick with the first real chance of the game there for the Lakers. He's been stellar for them, the assist department. Had 2-on-1, elected for the shot, and Parito was able to steer it away.
Oswego State dumps it in, and they're going to let that forecheck go to work here, as it looks like it's Plattsburgh breaking out of Chinnikov, far into the zone, but just goes along the ice, and a nice catch by the fan. And he gets a little standing ovation. And
nice
goes to hand it to a
nice young
kid.
The young fan. You got to love that here from the Plattsburgh crowd. A nice snag there in the first row. Always got to be on your toes in that first row.
Yep, puck's flying up. No netting there in the neutral zone. But a face-off here. Won by Oswego State, and they're going to slow it down to Carter Allen in his own end. Now Tyler Curry with it. Gets the breadline and fires it in. No ice. Unable to handle it is Parita, but Oswego State will go to work. Losing it is Oswego State, and Plattsburgh will pick it up with Ovchinnikov streaking through the zone. Nice stick by Curry, and Carter Allen now with it. And he'll get it over to Tanner Spink on this third line. Avoids a nice hit, and Passero trying to get a Broman, but he'll be offside.
I'll tell you what, Matt, that third line looked a little bit out of whack there. Travis Broman was offsides, and before that, Anthony Passero missed what could have been a pass in front of the net, so a little bit out of whack here, maybe with Broman sitting out last night. Got to get the chemistry back in order.
Yeah, and I believe it's their first shift, so they're going to look to get back in sync in a hurry as Oswego State chips it into the zone. Molinaro on the back check, but Parito will play it out. And Molinaro cannot get a stick on it as it goes all the way down to Mitch Emerson, who loses it. Kuhn with it now, 2-on-2, now 3-on-3. He'll fire a backhand pass, deflected shot, off, back out in front, an awkward bounce, and a good clear by Charlie Pelnick, who who breaks into the line for the first time this weekend. Molinar with it now along the corner boards. Back to the point, shot by Solo. It's flicked by Kuhn. Kuhn's got numbers with Plattsburgh, but a great job by Pelnick getting back on to avoid the 2-on-1 odd man rush. And Richer deflects a stop out of play. And a lot of back and forth action here, something we don't really expect from Plattsburgh, who going into it do not score a lot. They're averaging just 2.62 goals per game. That's good for 7th in the SUNYAC.
Yeah, we mentioned, Matt, this pace has been a little bit hectic compared to what we were expecting going into here, especially for Plattsburgh. But for Oswego State, the third D pairing of Jeff Solo and Charlie Pelnick is something to be watched all game long. Obviously, Solo a little bit new to the team, and Pelnick only playing 9 games so far this year.
Nanadol looks for a pass to Sullivan, cannot do so, and Parita has no problem carving the puck up. Oswego State will get an offensive zone face-off with 17:08 remaining in the first period.
This is going to be a big face-off for Oswego State. We haven't really seen them really be able to operate in their zone and get high grade A shots from this point, and we'll see if Oswego State can win this face-off and set up shop.
And they're going to leave out what they're calling the first line of Nanadol, Scorpio, and Sullivan, as Oswego State can't handle the shot at the point, and Novik goes to recoil in his own end. Flies around for Nanadol, who's checked by Middleton, and Nanadol finally gets the puck. Great play by Egan to force him away on the forecheck, and Egan steals it. Back to Middleton. Across for Engvall, the senior, with a shot blocked by Sullivan, and good for a clear.
Great job by Jody Sullivan, sacrificing the body there as Plattsburgh is forced to clear the zone, but now they're back in.
Egan with it, fires a shot wide. And now Cameron Berry will pick up for the Lakers, the senior in his own right. Max Novik cuts into the blue line, has some space, and a big hit by Middleton. And a great stop there for Zizek. Stops the odd man rush for the Plattsburgh going the other way. Good active stick by Curry, he gets him, and it looks like Oswego State might get a chance. Over to Berry, who cannot handle the pass. They'll come back for it now as he punches it into the behind the net. Kirkby on the forecheck. Plattsburgh able to get it, not past Carter Allen, who punches it back in deep. Sloan cannot get it past Carter Allen again with a shot save. Rebound by Berry with the shot. Big save by Parita, standing tall at the edge of his crease. Plattsburgh now exiting into Oswego State territory. Arujo with a shot, blocked again by Oswego State. And Zizek looks for the clear and gets only to Ian Walgren, the other freshman on this tandem, on this first pair. Now Falango with it at the circle. Shot by Arujo and just goes wide. Melafronte with it, misses it. Pesero, and now Oswego State has a 3-on-2. This third line with Spink, gets past his man, Pizzo, fires across, and Broman cannot touch up. Curry with it, shot blocked, and now Plattsburgh with a chance. It's Melafronte, tangles in, shot. What a save by Richer! Oh my goodness! On the captain, Ross Sloan, and Richer slides across the crease.
Someone would call Sports Center because Ross Sloan tried to go offside, and David Richer said, not today. I will ruin your senior night tonight, Ross Sloan. A great save with the glove there, sprawling out by David Richer. That's a big tone setter for Oswego State. They've struggled on the offensive end, and David Richer bails them out there on a good 2-on-1 chance.
And a big stop on the 2-on, and Coach Digby was talking to NYO earlier this week, and he said you got to limit the 2-on-1s. They gave up a 2-on-1 goal last night, and they almost did it here again. Shot, saved by Richer as goes away back to the corner boards for Barber. Brun losing it, and Solo tries to catch up to it. Emerson along the boards. Loses it again, but Solo picks it up, and now Brun behind his own net. Brown with it here, losing it to Barber. 1-on-2 battle, and Oswego State trying to clear. Plattsburgh comes with a shot at the point. Big save by Richer. No traffic in front, easy save for him on Andrew Pizzo.
Great save there by Richer to look it in, but one thing I've noticed from Plattsburgh State is they haven't gotten a lot of traffic in front of Richer. That's where he struggled a little bit, where you can get those deflections, get those healthy rebounds in front of Richer. And Plattsburgh, they're a big team, especially defensively. They just haven't parked bodies in front of Richer so far.
Oswego State staying at that top line of Scorpio, Sullivan, and Nenadol, and they'll win the faceoff over to Novik. Novik with a flutter pass, Engvall able to catch up to it before Nenadol gets there, but Oswego State's forecheck will go to work. Good pass up for Plattsburgh, and McCartney with a shot. Good block by Oswego State's Devin Campbell. Corner battle, Scorpio almost wins it, but a good job by Liam Lawson to force him wide, and Devin Campbell reset. Bad turnover by the Lakers, and Plattsburgh looking to touch back up or a change, and Oswego State looking for an easy clear. Nanado with it. Holds and waits, gets it over to Scorpio, but misses it. Devin Campbell cannot pick it up as Oswego State looks a little bit out of sync.
Yeah, Oswego's got to get something going here. Nothing really clicking so far for them in the offensive line. Their defense looking a little bit out of whack here with that first pair of Novick and Campbell.
And Novick now looking to create some offense of his own as Oswego State's forward pair goes for a change, but he'll punch it in and let Kirkby forecheck. Walgren with it now. Leaves for what looks like Arajau, and he'll fire a pass wide, and it looks like it might go down for an icing. And Owens almost with the almost beats out the icing call here.
A nice hustle there from Owens, but Carter Allen beats him down there, and Oswego State going to get another chance to kind of get their offense set up. They really haven't done that so far. Credit to Plattsburgh State for keeping the pressure on them, and Oswego State hasn't really been able to set up from the point, which is what they like to do. We'll see if that line of Pissarro, Broman, and Spink can get something going here from the top with Curry.
Curry gets the draw, fires it back in deep for Spink. Spink looking to take it out, but a big hit laid on him by Plattsburgh State's Arajau. Pissarro looking for it, fires down low, but Plattsburgh doing a good job getting rid of it. Tyler Curry gets it at his own blue line. Over to Carter Allen, who looks to fire it in, but a good stop by Stollard. Parita stops it now behind his own net. And Oswego State's forecheck not really getting quite in sync, as you mentioned, Luke.
No,
Stollard chips in a big hit laid on him by Carter Allen, and Carter Allen goes down hard. Board scrum won by Plattsburgh. Momentarily, at least, as Carter Allen comes away with it now, but just almost loses it to Cam Owens. Back over to Pissarro, and he has a 3-on-2 if Curry can hurry. Spink with it now on his off wing. Looking back down for Pissarro, but he's not looking there. Behind the net. Owens with a good job defending him, and Plattsburgh looks for the exit. Falango, shot blocked by Curry off the knee, and that sounded like it hurt. Oswego State chips it in, but Parita will play it for the second or third time here. Just about 12 and a half minutes left to go in this first period. A lot of action by Parita. Barry back out in front, off the stick, hops back to Brunn, and he'll fire back in for Zyzik, back now around the boards. No one there for Oswego State. Poundlick looking to pinch, and a big hit laid on Ross Sloan. Kirby shot blocked by Engvall, and it goes to the corner boards.
Yeah, Engvall got that big body in there. It's his senior night, standing at 6'7", almost that Chara-type body for an NHL comparison there. Gets down and blocks it, but Canberry some good chances there for the Lakers, and that's a good sign if you're head coach Ed Gosick. You want to get Canberry back involved.
And a big turnover, shot, scores! Christian DeFelice on the turnover. And
DeFelice there.
And as I wait this horn to stop blaring, but a bad turnover for Christopher Brunn. You talk about Swedes, Engvall with a big block. Going the other way, Christopher Brunn, his Swedish counterpart for Oswego State, misses the opportunity, and now it's 1-0 lead for Plattsburgh.
Yeah, rough play there from Brunn, but DeFelice capitalizes, the freshman here on senior night.
Campbell with it now. Pakdanovic shot, saved by Pareda. Molinaro looking for it, he'll pick it up. Cuts out to the back to the slot, and a good stop. And now it's Plattsburgh looking to get some options. Ovchinniganov on the forecheck, and he's a speedy guy, but Novik picks it up. Molinaro almost gets the puck, but again, offsides is Joey Molinaro, and looks visibly frustrated as he almost whacks his stick into the boards.
Yeah, credit to Plattsburgh State. They've come out here, they played fast, they played hard, and it's already resulted in a goal for them. And if you're Plattsburgh, that's what you want. Play in front of Parita, give him that 1-0 cushion, and that's exactly the opposite of what you want on a tough road game for Oswego State, but a great start for Plattsburgh, getting a goal within the first 9 minutes.
Yeah, and they're going to call it an intentional offside, so it's going to go back into Oswego State's defensive zone. Bo with it, shot, scores! Looks like it was tipped out in front by Liam Lawson, the sophomore, and now it's a quick 2-0 lead.
Yeah. Bo led the handshake line, but it might have been tipped in front by Lawson either way. As I mentioned before, you have to get traffic in front of David Richet, and Plattsburgh's done that here with the goal. And Plattsburgh 2-0 lead, 11:25 remaining in the first, and this is the nightmare start if you're the Lakers.
Yeah, if you're Coach Gosick, if there's one or two more bad shifts for his team, you got to wonder when he takes that timeout, because there's a lot of time left in this game. Over 50 minutes left, and if you're the Lakers, you cannot afford to give up the next goal.
Yeah, the crowd's starting to get into it here in Plattsburgh and Oswego. Like you said, Coach Gosick has that timeout in the back of his pocket, especially with two quick goals against David Richet.
Bo with it now. McCartney. And it looks like there might be an interference call on Plattsburgh State. And Oswego State will see the third best penalty kill in all of Division III hockey in Plattsburgh as Oswego State goes to the man advantage.
And even tougher for Oswego State, no Mike Gillespie to kind of point guard that power play for Oswego State. And you mentioned that great penalty kill unit for Plattsburgh, first in the SUNYAC, going against the third best power play in Oswego State. This is a battle we're going to have to watch all night long, but this is a big one for Oswego State. Already down 2 goals, you got to try to chip away.
Novik with it now, looks to set up shop. He'll get it to Pissarro, who had a couple of assists last night on the power play in Gillespie's spot, and they'll cycle it back down low to Spink. Spink back at to Emerson, and now Pissarro back at that Gillespie spot on the right point. Looking in, shot deflected and cleared by the Plattsburgh State power penalty kill, That was
actually a great pass from Anthony Pissarro. It looked like Tanner Spink just couldn't get the stick on it, but he was right in that grade A good chance slot area for Oswego, and that could have been a goal if he could have got a stick on the puck.
Oswego State just clears, enters zone momentarily, and Plattsburgh will clear. Riche coming out to touch up the puck for Max Novik. And an aggressive forecheck by Draben, really just harassing this Oswego State power play.
Max Novik could be a guy to watch. He's been able to run point. Even without Gillespie, he's been on fire lately passing the puck for the Lakers.
And a bad pass by Pissarro there leads to an easy clear, but it looked like the ref got in the way of it. And now Spink looks to counter. Max Novik takes the puck up high, but he'll recoil, and now down for Derek Brown. Back to Spink, cycles back down low for Brown. Back to the point for Novik, looking for the shot. Looks for the pass now. Back to Brown at the circle, shot, pass, deflected by Spink and almost trickles in. Just passing the crease with Spink's deflection, and Plattsburgh looks for a clear, and they get it.
Max Novik did a good job running point there. The Lakers unable to get the deflection in front of the net, but it's better movement if you're Coach Gosick. You like that, as they've finally been able to set up, even on the power play with 25 seconds to go.
Curry coming in with it now. Back to Barry. Back over to Curry at the point. Still holds. Shot. Goes wide. Derek Brown picks it up, and he'll fire it back around for Barry on the other side. Barry battling. Broman picks it up, but Stallard will go, and he's got a 2-on-2. Looks over for Owens. Streaking on Curry. Good play by Curry as he deflects the puck, and Oswego State looks to counter the other way. Power play just expiring here. 9:10 left in the period. Curry with it now, and he'll wait as the top line goes for a line change. And Nenadil just chips it in, but Engvall doing a good job getting a piece of it as Kuhn looks to clear.
Great job by Curry there. You know, he had to get back on defense, which is a little bit rare. You don't want to see that on a 5-on-4 or a 4-on-5 situation, but Curry gets back, plays good defense, and pushes the puck up to Broman. But Broman really, maybe not a step slow, but with the game off yesterday, maybe trying to get back into that rhythm with his line mates.
Yeah, he definitely had time to practice during the week, so it shouldn't take too long for him to get back acclimated into it, especially with a big-time game. And a big hit there as Barber and Nenadil collide. Nenadil picks it up through the red line, and he'll chip it in and let his team go to work. Pizzo with it now. Loses it momentarily, but Plattsburgh will pick it back up. Is Liam Lawson. McCartney with it, looking for forecheck. Carter Allen with it. McCartney lays the body on him. Allen picks it back up, and he's got some time and space as he fires it cross-ice dump. Oswego State with the change. Parita plays it now, and Lawson will pick it up with an easy exit. Oswego State was changing. Trickles into Oswego's zone, but Pelnick will pick it up and fire it over to Scorpio, who tries to get the puck, but cannot do so. Almost too many men for Plattsburgh. Big hit almost by Solo on Arajau, but the dump in works and Pelnick will pick it up.
8 minutes to go for the Lakers. You've got to get something going. This momentum has been all the way in the Cardinals' favor so far, and resetting behind the net here for Pelnick. This is a big possession for Oswego.
Right, and Zizek flipping it in. Just onside, or not an icing, I should say, excuse me. A really good play by him. And Zizek gets in the circle, but a great stick by Plattsburgh's defense as it's Walgren with it now. He'll get a pass out. It looks like Zizek's slow to get up at the top of your screen, but he gets to the bench, seems to be okay, and they'll call that an icing.
That's a tough icing call for Oswego State. You saw Pelnick try and get off the ice here. The refs are going to tell him, no, you cannot get off the ice, but looks like it's some tired legs for Oswego State here early on. They want to get to that line change, but they can't due to the icing. And once again, backs against the wall, and David Riche might have to come up big again.
Yeah, they're going to need him to stand tall the rest of this game, giving up 2 goals, and really not many of them his fault with the quality opportunities Plattsburgh's had. But Oswego State's got to generate something, and it all starts back there with Riche standing tall. Oswego State clears momentarily, and it'll be an offside call. But Kirkby lifts the stick of Walgren to keep him onside, and deflected pass by Plattsburgh. Owens with it now. Back to point for Egan. Fakes a shot, shoots it now, and Emerson picks up the rebound in tight. Molinaro with it, streaking through the zone, cuts to the middle of the ice, looks for a shot. Shot saved by Parita, the glove down low.
That's really the first chance that Jimmy Parita's been tested so far. A nice move into the zone and a nice low shot, good for a rebound, but snagged by Jimmy Parita, and he's just been stellar this year.
Yeah, he's been really good with a goals against average of sub-2, a $191 goals against, and really impressive, facing nearly 28 shots per game. Plattsburgh does a really good job stifling some of those shots, but Oswego State a different animal as they generate a lot of shots over 30 per game. That's third in the SUNYAC. Oswego wins the faceoff, trying to generate some of those shots that we mentioned here. But it looks like another stoppage in play, and they might call that a hand pass on Oswego State.
Going back outside, possibly the Oswego zone?
Looks like it's on Plattsburgh, actually. It's going to stay in the Plattsburgh defensive end here with 6:58 left in the first period.
Another huge faceoff for the Lakers. They need something going. Just 7 minutes till they go to the locker room.
Yeah, a tight angle shot there. Skips all the way out to Novick, who holds and waits. He'll fire it over to Campbell. The senior for Oswego State will fire it in down low. Emerson comes out high, cannot get it back deep, but Campbell will do so as Parita comes out to play it for what seems like the 5th or 6th time this period. Novick cuts in, and he'll get it over to Molinaro behind the net, battling on Sloan, and he's knocked down hard, no call. Good pinch by Campbell, keeping him momentarily. And he gets a good chance from Molinaro. Shot! Big save by Parita. Great positional save here as there's a skirmish in front. 2-on-1. It looks like Campbell's in there with Middleton.
Yeah, it looked like Campbell, Engvall, and Middleton all getting mixed up in there. The two senior defensemen, Devin Campbell and Jacob Engvall, getting at it down low. You like to see that. Maybe a little bit of spark for both teams.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to tussle with either of these two guys. Engvall, as you mentioned before, Luke, 6'7", 215, and Devin Campbell looks small next to him at 6'2", 200 pounds, but he's still a big guy in his own right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with either of those guys down low, but, you know, just protecting your goaltender and Jimmy Parita, nothing wrong with that.
Yep, and a really good chance there off the Campbell pinch, and that's what Oswego State needs. You need to get your defense activated, because when you do that, the secondary and tertiary chances arise. Spink off the face-off, back out in front. Good defensive effort by Plattsburgh, collapsing on the net. Now they've got a 3-on-2. Passero cutting back hard. In the slot shot, goes wide. Spink on the rebound. Will lose it momentarily. And Plattsburgh will chip it back in for Kuhn. Kuhn bodied by Carter Allen. He'll hold on to it. A big hit by Carter Allen sends Kuhn down to the ice. Barber able to pick it up, and Carter Allen trying to get it out. Cannot do so as Barber stops it again. McCarthy here with it down behind the goal line. He'll try to look for an outlet pass. Cannot do so. And a risky play by Broman backfires as it goes down to Kuhn back behind the goal line. A pass out in front, almost touched by McCartney, but Spink does a good job clearing. And now it's a race for Broman and Barber. Broman beats the icing, cannot get the puck, but beats the icing is huge as Oswego State gets a change.
Travis Broman, one of the best in D3 hockey, beating those icing calls. He had even a goal, a wraparound against Geneseo where he beat out an icing call, and that's just another thing that this big freshman can do.
Yep, Nanado chips it in, Sullivan with the touch-up, no ice. Walgren with it now for Plattsburgh. Gets it just Brunn, and Brunn mishandles it, but Malfront cannot pick up the puck cleanly. Scorpio almost hit down by Walgren. Oswego State just momentarily as DeFelice, the goal scorer, picks it up and chip it in deep. Solo battling with DeFelice, loses the puck momentarily, but it comes hard on him. Solo with it now. Fronte back to him. Nando and DeFelice in there. DeFelice comes out with it. Back to the point for Ovechnikov. Shot just goes wide, and Richer couldn't find it. Ovechnikov back to the point for Arajo. Waits. Shot deflected by Sullivan, and it goes wide for Scorpio. And it stays in the zone there. Scorpio get knocked down. Another power play coming up for the Lakers. The crowd doesn't seem too happy about that. It seemed like a decent interference by the referee. So goes right by his own net. Get up to Isaac, who's trying to generate speed. Leaves for Kirkby. Back to point for Barry. Shot. Deflected. Save, but cannot touch up is Plattsburgh, and Oswego will maintain possession. Back down low, and it's Owens that'll touch up 4:11 remaining in the period. Oswego goes to a power play.
Another power play opportunity, but once again going against one of the better penalty kill units in the country in Oswego State. They didn't get a ton of chances, but I thought towards the end of their last power play was where they really started to come into their own. Canberry kind of parking himself down low to the left of Parita is where those shot opportunities are going to come. He kind of was a little bit hesitant to take those shots, was more likely to dish it back to Novick, but if Canberry can fire those shots, that's where you're going to get those rebound opportunities.
Yeah, not only Barry, but you want that defenseman there, Max Novick, generating some offense. Try to pull the defense away from him, let him rip a shot, whether it be a goal like he's had a couple weekends ago, or a couple of sets like he had 3 last night, a couple on the power play. Novick with it now, looks over for Zizek, back to Novick at the point, back down Passero. Tipped! Good save and Spink. Looks like it might have gone wide. Oswego State pressuring 3 Plattsburgh Cardinals behind their own net, battling for the puck. They come away with it. Fires of the puck all the way down the length of the ice. 3:38 remaining in the period.
Tanner Spink, 4 goals on the year, 10 assists for 14 points, but he's been parking in that slot area. He's had a couple of opportunities to score, just hasn't been able to get the shots on net.
Yeah, and he's got great hands, so putting him there, trying to get the deflections is a great idea as Plattsburgh fires it, almost hitting their assistant coach, but he ducks out of the way. And we're going to stoppage here, 3:24 left in the game.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting look here with the benches on the opposite side of the press box. We're used to having the benches right below us back home in the Steve Levy press box, but a really nice angle of the benches there, and like you said, assistant coaches need to watch out for flying pucks.
Yeah, and those guys usually former hockey players as well. They got those reflexes to duck out of the way. As the second unit for the Lakers power play comes out, looks like Emerson taking the face-off with Molinaro, Broman, Curry, and what looks like Cameron Barry manning the point. Plattsburgh clears here with Riche looking to touch up with Curry.
You're Oswego State. You have plenty of time here. Still 1 minute, 5 seconds to go. Take your time, set it up, and get those chances down low, which they really haven't done well. Missing a guy like Mike Gillespie and also Josh LeBlanc, those guys that like to get gritty down low.
Yeah, and it's Brown out there on the power play who's unable to corral it, and the Oswego State's going to have to reset again. Barry with it now. Gets it over to, but they can't find it now. To Owens with a chance on the shorthanded opportunity. Cuts around, and Broman with a big hit on him, knocks him off the puck, and Plattsburgh will fire it in. Really what looked like the best chance of this power play so far comes shorthanded for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and might have got a little bit of help from the ref there. His skate kind of kept the puck out of the Oswego zone, and Plattsburgh almost had a 2-on-1 opportunity the other way. As now Plattsburgh yet another clear in this Lakers power play. Looks confused.
Yeah, 20 seconds left, and they're just out of sync here, so hopefully for the Lakers, try to get to the intermission and work things out on your power play because you need that to generate some offense as they fire it in. Walgren will look to clear, but he shanks it, gets a second chance, and a good forecheck by the Lakers. And Zizek with it now as the power play is about to expire. Back over to Allen. Back out from Molinaro. Shot, unable to get it off, and he'll recycle. Backs down low, and Molinaro will go for a change to get the second defenseman out there as we're back at 5-on-5 play. Back to Carter Allen. Fires a shot, big save by Parita, as it looked like it started to trickle up high on him.
And for the Lakers there, it was a high shot, so not a lot of opportunities for deflection, but Josh Zizek was the only one down low there for the Lakers. You've got to get more traffic in front. Look what Plattsburgh State has done on the other end in front of David Riche. You got to create some kind of confusion because Parita's not going to let in a lot, and when he is letting it in, you've got to have traffic in front of him.
Nenado wins the face off to Allen. Looks for a shot, cannot get it past Plattsburgh's forwards. But Nanadil looks to fire it in deep. He gets it down there behind the goal line. 2 Cardinals on the Lakers now. It's a 2-on-2 battle. Oswego State comes away with it. And trying to fire it back in, but Plattsburgh picks it up. And a nice play by Ovchinnikov to get it out of the zone. He's chasing Carter Allen, who's able to pick it up and spin away from his own end. Carter Allen now picking up speed, crossing his own blue line, fires it in for Sullivan, who does not get the touch up, and now it'll be an icing as Middleton touches up.
Great control of the puck in the body there by Carter Allen. Before that, a little bit nifty for a defenseman as he kind of steered it away. Unfortunately for the Lakers, it's an icing call, but a good job to track down that puck and stop a Plattsburgh opportunity.
And for Oswego State, one of the last times you had an icing called against, Plattsburgh able to score a goal in the set power play. So Oswego State, if you're an Enidal, you got to tie up your man on this faceoff. And Sloan tries to win it straight ahead, but Carter Allen picks it up, and Sullivan looking to clear. He gets it over to Scorpio. Scorpio's got some chance. His defender slips. 2-on-1. Shot in tight, and Parita can't quite find it. And a big scrum in front. Now there's some battling. 3 Lakers in there, a little pushing and shoving. Nothing too much going on there.
Looked like the puck came loose from Parita, and Sullivan kind of just gave him a little bit of a love tap, and now a little extracurricular activity. The second time we've seen these 2 teams pile up. And suffice it to say, these teams don't like each other very much. They see each other twice a year. It's always a big crowd, a big atmosphere, and now the crowd getting involved. as they love the effort the Cardinals have given them in this first period, and rightfully so. 2 goals, that physicality, setting the tone on defense, and Parita hasn't been tested much, but when he has, he's been solid.
And they're also cheering because it looked like Jody Sullivan sent to the box, the sin bin, as you like to call it, Luke.
They sent him to the sin bin, but I'm not sure exactly what happened. Like I said, he might have given a little bit of a love tap to Parita, and now some conversations going on. That's actually Josh Zizek, not Devin Campbell talking to the refs. Maybe a little bit of a different look. We usually see the captains talking to the refs.
Zizek one of the alternates, though.
That is true. Still some talking going on as the Lakers once again, well, actually for the first time, look like they'll be short-handed with 1:17 remaining in the first.
And for the Lakers, this is what you don't want to see. If this is a power play for Plattsburgh, they're not the best power play by any stretch of the means. Really just a 10% power play, worse than the Suniac and one of the worst ones in all of Division III, but you know, one bounce goes their way, and now they have a 3-0 lead.
And the bounces have been going their way, and not just out of luck, but just the way they've set up their offense has been great. They got the big guys up top, the grinders down low, and look at like a guy like Cam Owens to get in there and get gritty. It's senior night after all. Someone wants to tally a goal.
Yeah, and it looks like Pat Egan as well has 3 goals on the power play out of his 7, and Molinaro races ahead, trying to kill some time left in it. Walgren behind his own net, looking to set it up. And a little interesting look is Plattsburgh has 2 defensemen on this top power play unit. Of course, Walgren and Arajau, 2 of the top point getters in terms of rookie defensemen. And Owens goes down hard, and he's clutching his back. Slow to get up. Looked like a Carter Allen hit. Hurts Owens back, but he's up and he'll stay out on the ice.
Looked like he took a stick right to the back. He has a word for the ref as he heads to the bench. Luckily for Plattsburgh, he's on his feet, though.
Yeah, they'll chip in. Egan with it now in his skates. Couldn't get to his stick until just now. Settles it down for Arajau. Over to Walgren. Back over to Arajau as they play catch. Now to Walgren. Back into the circle is Egan. Waiting. Shot. Goes wide. Stoward looking to pick it up here, but Zizek has to battle him, and a big hit by Zizek. Solo with it. Cannot clear the zone as it hits Zizek. Zizek finally able to clear, and Oswego State will go for a change.
Charlie Pelnick there laid the lumber on a Plattsburgh player. The ref had something to say to him after no call for interference, but it wasn't close to the puck. They'll have to be careful about that.
Plattsburgh resetting here as they'll go for a line change, and they have no problem waiting this actually until the end of the first period with the crowd on their feet here at the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena. Plattsburgh is ecstatic with a 2-goal lead after 1 up against the number 3 Oswego State Lakers.
Yeah, if you're Plattsburgh State, you've done everything right this period. You've set up nicely in front of Parita, giving him that 2-goal cushion. You've killed off every single power play opportunity for Oswego State, and just a good all-around period for Plattsburgh. But the good thing for the Lakers is we play 60 minutes of hockey, not 20, so they've got time. They've got to regroup because Plattsburgh just outplayed them for 20 minutes.
Yeah, if my math skills work here, 60 minus 20 gives us 40. So that's 2 periods left for us. We got to score at least 2 goals, and we're going to send it back to the Al Roker Studios in Oswego with Brian Rubin and the guys breaking down that first period. And we'll be right back here on WTOP 10.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Got your personal references, high school diploma or equivalent?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
It's right there.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
How do we afford all this?
To Maddie.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow. I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money going to come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Total, Baldwin faces 32 charges.
I went to Woodchuck Saloon.
Too much temperature change.
1310 meteorologist. 2 as well. Visions from Tanner Spink.
Go to 2-1.
2 with 6 and 10 on the year.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
And welcome back to Hockey Night in Oswego, as this is the first intermission report back here live in the Al Roker studio in Oswego. Once again, Owen Gallagher and Zachary Haynes. I'm Brian Rodman, and guys, what a first period for the Plattsburgh Cardinals in this game.
Absolutely wild. Not exactly what we expected to see from Oswego, but Plattsburgh off to a hot start.
I mean, like you said it the best. We're not expecting what the turnout is so far from the first period, but you see the Cardinals dominating so far in this game against the Oswego Lakers.
Guys, and there were 2 goals in that period, and Richer really couldn't do much on those goals. Take us through what you guys saw there.
No, I mean, we're going to take a look at the goal shortly, but honestly, that was kind of like what I was trying to say earlier. I just couldn't get the words out of my mouth, and Zach had to help me out. But once Richer gets beat once, he's often susceptible to letting up another goal rather quickly, and I think we saw that there.
I think you make an excellent point, Ian. Owen, my bad, but you make an excellent point. You know, once he gets peppered enough times, especially in the center ice with the screen passes and stuff, easy to get him over and over and again.
Yep.
And take us through what you actually saw on the goals themselves.
Yep, so if we take a look at the first goal that Plattsburgh scored, it all started with pressuring the puck. Christopher Brunn gets the puck in the defensive zone. Gosick talked about this in his pregame interview. Don't do anything fancy. He gets caught with the puck here. It's a turnover, and then Christian DeFelice just buries it and beats Richer stick side.
And you know, the second goal right here, we got the face-off here between the Lakers and the Cardinals. The Cardinals win that face-off. They're able to move it outside, but they get it inside into the screen pass in front of Richer, get the easy goal right there from the assist from Liam Lawson.
So now, starting with the first goal, it was a turnover that really caused it. Is there anything you can do if you're Richer there?
Not much. Richer was kind of left out to dry by his D-man there. Christopher Brunn doing too much. Again, like I said, Gosick talked about this. And this is a crucial game if you're the Lakers, because this is preparing you for your playoff game. You got a week off, but again, you want to stay sharp. And that turnover there in your defensive area cannot happen in any kind of game like this.
And Zach, for the second goal, What do you think the Lakers need to do differently in the second period to avoid another goal like that one?
They need to get into the center in front of Riche. They need to help him out right there. That was not a good situation to be in. They were able to get the face-off. They were able to get it in front of center ice quickly. They were able to get it right where they shouldn't have. So they need to get their defensive lanes checked.
All right, and now we can take a look at the period summary to see how these teams really matched up in the stat department. Take us through what you guys saw in the stats and how that showed on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a look here at the graphic, but what you're really looking at here is a very similar shot total. It's just where are those shots coming from? Oswego kept shooting it right into the breadbasket. It seemed like we're going to talk about Jimmy Porta pretty soon, but it just wasn't the same kind of shot. Even though the totals lined up, it wasn't the same type of shots that they were getting.
And right now we're seeing a game of defenses. I mean, the Lakers are winning the face-off battle as they have in the second half of the season, but it's not translating into offensive opportunities for themselves. They also gone 2 on the power play, and we see the Cardinals have their first power play, didn't succeed, and when we come back, we're going to see another power play come back for the Cardinals. It might be another opportunity for them to score.
And one of the things, sorry, if I might add this, Jimmy Parita, we've seen a lot of him playing the puck behind the net, trying to prevent the Oswego offensive players getting deep into the zone and starting to cycle the puck, which is going to throw you off if you're trying to establish any kind of rhythm on offense. So Parita going out of the net, playing the puck rather aggressively from what we've seen, that's a key to Plattsburgh's defense, starting to break out and bring it into the offensive zone for them.
And going back to those stats, we saw Oswego had 2 power plays in that period, but they weren't able to convert on it. Going back to the Geneseo game last week, they also struggled. What's something they need to fix in terms of their power play if they want to get on the board?
Well, I mean, you're talking about a big loss of Michael Gillespie. I mean, he's kind of like we said in the broadcast. I believe Luke brought it up. He's the point guard of that power play. And when you lose your point guard, someone else has to step up. And, you know, the second man then falls due to injury. So, I mean, you're looking at Anthony Passero's got to be the man to set this up. I highlighted him at the beginning of this broadcast. And really, so far, they haven't been able to establish any rhythm.
And that's a big thing. No one's been able to ignite that power play for this game today. It's been really unfortunate for them being one of the top teams with power plays in the nation. They're not able to convert on any of those opportunities. There's no one there right now to help them start that power play offense.
And now, looking at this game as a whole, it is a rivalry game. It's been very physical so far. What have you guys seen out of both teams in terms of physicality?
We've seen a lot of big hits, and that's great hockey there. Nothing greater than seeing some scrums after the play. But listen, like look right here, for example, big hits against Oswego, and they're returning the favor right down at the other end, bringing it into the offensive zone and laying the D-man on his butt. Oh my goodness, just physical play, getting a little scrappy after the whistle.
You see right there the captain, Devin Campbell, getting into it right next to the Plattsburgh goal. It's just a very physical game right now between the two rivals. It's very heated in there. You're just going to see that for the rest of the game. You're going to have to accept that, and it's probably going to lead to some penalty minutes.
And we saw this during whiteout, except it seemed like Oswego was bringing the physicality to Plattsburgh. Now it's Plattsburgh attacking, which is a little bit different than we've seen and what we're used to seeing from this Oswego team.
And aside from the physicality, what has been the difference between this matchup and the whiteout matchup where Oswego won 4-0?
Somebody's really ready for this matchup today. It's senior night at North Country. It's also just their home ice advantage. They have the crowd in their favor. Everything's going for them right now. Everything's clicking for them efficiently. There's not a lot else you can do about that. They just seem to be clicking right now, especially since this first period started.
And you got to control your emotions. Jody Sullivan there got caught after the whistle being a little too rough and drew a penalty. That's huge. Even if Plattsburgh doesn't capitalize on this opportunity, it could pay them down the road.
Definitely. And we're going to go to a little bit of a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the SUNYAC and how it shapes up as we're heading into playoff time. You're watching Hockey Night in Oswego right here on WTOP 10.
Guys, I don't feel so good. Shouldn't have had that chili for lunch.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
And welcome back to Hockey Night in Oswego, the first intermission report. Once again, Owen Gallagher, Zach Haynes, I'm Brian Rudman. And guys, we're going to take a look at the SUNYAC standings and the bracket headed into playoff time. And as it stands now and as it will stand when we are finished with this game heading into the playoffs, Geneseo will be the 1 seed, Oswego will be the 2 seed. How important is it that Geneseo has that home ice advantage throughout the playoffs?
Oh, that's huge. Oswego ties Geneseo at home. Obviously, Oswego has the home crowd behind them when they played here in the Marano Campus Center, but Geneseo at home is just a totally different team. Again, they took care of business when they first played Oswego. Now, granted, it's 2 different teams, so you can't really take those final stats into account, but just 2 totally different teams, it seems like, for Geneseo.
And that's a big thing. There's a team at home, there's a team on the road. Totally 2 different teams right there, but Geneseo is very comfortable at home. They know their environment. They know which lanes they're going to switch into for transition. They just know everything about their home. So home ice advantage for them in the playoffs would be a huge impact.
Definitely, and we saw earlier in this year, Oswego went to Geneseo, lost 3-0, then tied 4-4 when they played at home. If Oswego draws Geneseo in the SUNYAC final, what do they have to do differently in order to win that game?
Well, I mean, I think you're kind of getting a taste of what it's going to be like as far as the environment goes. Geneseo, it's a pretty cozy environment. There's not a lot of seating in there, but their fans are pretty raucous. So, I mean, again, Oswego, you got to limit the penalties. You're already taking 2 in the first period against Plattsburgh. So, again, emotions are high in this game, and maybe they wouldn't be as high against a Geneseo opponent. But Ghost has got to prepare them correctly for this, and hopefully getting some guys back from injury will be huge for them.
That would be a big thing to get some of the guys back from injury. That would be one of the big things for them in the Geneseo game, getting Gillespie back, getting LeBlanc back, so that way they can execute the power play correctly. The other thing, they got to change up their strategy. Plattsburgh seems to understand and know what their moves are before they make those moves. Gosick needs to change up his strategy if he wants to get that playoff run he wants.
And guys, now let's take a look at the SUNYAC bracket and how it looks and how it's shaping up and what we will see come next Wednesday, when you can see right here, it'll be Plattsburgh in the 3 seed, Brockport in the 6, Buffalo State in the 4, and Fredonia in the 5. Oswego will host the higher remaining seed. So what do you guys think about how this bracket shapes up?
If I'm Oswego, man, I might be sweating looking at this result of this game. This might not be something you want to see if you're the Lakers right now. You're struggling against Plattsburgh, and it kind of seems like this is the tale that we say every single SUNYAC playoffs is what Oswego team's going to show up. The one that shows up in the regular season, or the one we've kind of come to expect in the postseason.
I mean, they're known for choking in the playoffs, and that's an unfortunate fact. But a big thing is like they don't want to play either team. They don't want to show that.
And now we're going to send it back to the Ronald B. Arena in Plattsburgh for the second period. Matt and Luke will have the call.
Welcome back to the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena in Plattsburgh. Matt Watling joined alongside Luke Owens. Start of the second period here. Lakers trail 2-0 due to some sloppy defensive zone play.
Yeah, they've had some trouble controlling the puck in front of Riche, and that's been one of their biggest problems. They actually outshot Plattsburgh, but no shots on those crucial 2 power plays, and now they're on the penalty kill to begin the second.
Yeah, Nenadil ship it in to kill some time. Walgren chasing back. The freshman spins away and is picked up by Kuhn, the senior. Runs into the ref there, but Walgren will pick it up, and he'll enter the zone. Malafronte, battled by Nenadel, but he can fire it in. Devin Campbell getting it just kept in by Arajau. And now it's Kuhn, cutting in. Cuts around, Malafronte looking for it. Didn't get it, good block by the Lakers.
Great job by Riche there. Actually looked like he stuck his stick out to avoid the puck coming to the front of the net. That's a big play from Riche to start the second period.
Yeah, and Parita, very active goaltender with the puck, looking for a stretch pass to McCartney, but the Lakers pick it up and clear. End of the power play for the Plattsburgh.
Good job by the Lakers to start the period, killing the power play. Now they can try to set up on offense, going down towards the student section, trying to take the crowd out of this game.
Plattsburgh picks it up now. Arajau with it, the freshman, out of Long Island, and he'll pick it up with the Staller, the captain. Big hit laid on him, and he hits the ice as Sullivan knocked him down. And Novick looking for it. He'll enter the zone, 1-on-5. Couple Lakers changing. Back over to Emerson, shot goes wide. Molinaro picking it up here. 18:40 left, 5-on-5 action as Walgren picks it up for the Cardinals. Fires it, a bank pass, and almost getting it to Owens, and he gets it. It's a 3-on-2. Stoller with it, goes between his skates, and Oswego State cannot get it quite out of the zone just yet. Molinaro handcuffed by it, passing it to Broman. Almost knocked down by the big Engvall, but Broman pretty big himself. And Falangia dangles through a couple guys, 3-on-2 with it. Over, shot, big save by Riche, who's a little bit out of position, but a good chance by Middleton, the defenseman, who came down on the play.
Good job by the Lakers so far, actually keeping that first line of Plattsburgh in check. That all-senior line of Egan, Owens, and Stallard has been scoreless here and almost had a chance there, but missed on the pass from Owens to Stallard.
And now 1-on-1 is Falanga. Cuts out wide, back in to the slot, and a good play by Novick and Riche teaming up to get it behind the net. 2-1-1 for the Lakers, and they'll pick it up. Cycle back is Spink over to Novick, who looks for the breakout. He'll take it a little bit. He picks up his space and speed. Spink, no one there. Looks like a light change. Shot, big save by Parita, and Barber was sliding down to try to make the stop.
Looked like Plattsburgh State kind of forgot about Tanner Spink. He got alone there on the left wing, came in, but Parita just made that look effortless, snagging that with the glove. And Oswego State been a little bit stagnant on offense to open the period, and we'll see if this face-off can get anything going from the point. And this has been an interesting deep pairing of Pelnick and Solak on the third defensive line, as someone looks like they might be kicked out of the face-off circle.
Yeah, and Solo's a guy from Merrimack College, the Division I transfer mid-semester that likes to move the puck. He likes to use his feet. Good hockey IQ, but Pelnick takes a shot here. Good save by Parita. Kirkby, 2-on-1 battle, won by DeFelice of Plattsburgh, but misses of Chinnikov. Solo misses the puck, and Chinnikov battles him hard. But now Zizek looking for it. Looks like DeFelice will pick it up. No, and they'll call it an icing here. Neither player realized. With 17-17 left here in the second period, and it'll go down to the Oswego State end.
Yeah, and Pelnick there kind of fired an early shot there against Parita, and no deflection in front, but I didn't hate that shot. It was an early shot in the power play, but unfortunately for Lakers, no one in front, and that's what caused Plattsburgh to be able to clear the zone. But not a bad shot from Pelnick. You've just got to get traffic in front. We've stressed it all in the first period, and the Lakers still failing to get gritty down low.
Cam Berry wins in, shot out of a cannon as he's trying to knock down the puck, but Pizzo fires it back in. Zizek with it now crosses the red line and cuts him with speed. Back out to Berry, stops, fires a pass, save, rebound to Kirkby. Back to point for Solo, shot. Glove save by Parita, and a good one.
Boy, Parita just looks so comfortable with that glove on his left hand there, just grabbing pucks out of the air, really making it look easy out there. And let me tell you, it's not easy, especially when you've got those big bodies in front of you, but Parita's been impressive, and he's looked good, especially with the 2-0 lead.
Oswego State hasn't got enough traffic in front of him. On that shot there, he saw it the entire way. He's out at the top of his crease, and when he does that, he makes those saves easily as there was a false start on the play. Looking like we're going to do a reset here, the face-off.
Looks like a 5-yard penalty there on the false start, but we'll reset it here. And then yet again, Nenadal in the face-off circle with Pelnick behind him. We'll see if we get a quick shot in traffic in front.
Great win by Nenadal as he ties up his counterpart. But he'll pick it up off the Sullivan turnover, and Scorpio just can't get it. He was looking for it in the slot. Pelnick steps up and chips it in. McCartney gets it, and Pelnick stands him up. Good play by him, as McCartney's a fast guy. Probably would have beat Pelnick around. Plattsburgh with it here, 2-on-2 scrum. Back to Walgren, who cannot pick it up as Nanadel clears. Now for Pelnick, over to Sullivan, and he'll fire it in deep. Line change for the Lakers.
Good line there by Plattsburgh to keep the puck out of the zone. Almost a good centering pass for Oswego State. Look out on the Oswego State bench as the trainer had to take a duck as the puck goes into the bench. But a good line there by Plattsburgh State, kind of keeping Oswego out of the front of the net, and that's where they like to go to work with a nice pass there that could just not get through from, I believe it was Nanadel.
Yeah, now it looks like it'll be an offensive zone faceoff for the Lakers, and this is where you want to generate some offense here. 16:28 to go in the second period. You haven't done much with your shots. Not a lot of grade A opportunities. This is a chance here off the set play. Get it to a guy like Tyler Curry. He's got 15 assists, 18 points on the year. Get it to a guy like Carter Allen, 8 points on the year. Those guys got some heavy shots. Use that to your advantage. But they lose the faceoff, and it's Sloan. Or Kuhn, excuse me. Over to Stallard, the captain. Back to Kuhn. And Oswego State stick checks it away.
Good news for Oswego State. They've looked a lot cleaner in the defensive zone so far.
2-1, Molinaro and Emerson. Shot deflected. Back out for Solo, or Brown, excuse me, and a big save by Parita, standing tall once more.
Yeah, Derek Brown had a weird angle on that shot, unable to finish, and Parita slides over to make an easy save. If he could have got that maybe over to the glove side of Parita, it could have been money for the Lakers.
2-on-1 battle here. Momentarily won by the Lakers, but it goes back into it. 2-on-2 now. Emerson fires it around, or Molinaro, excuse me. And now it's Allen. Up the gut. Dangling around, and a stick up high taken by Curry, but no call there. And he's caught with now a forward back checking is Broman. Owens with it now. Cuts over on Broman. Gets around him. Shot deflected by the back checking Curry. Middleton with it now at the point. Fires a shot in the pads of Spink. And now the Lakers are going to try to clear. As Spink had a jump on it, but a good step in by Engvall.
Could have been a breakaway there for Spink.
Back out in tight, and a good stop by Riche, standing strong on his post.
Like you said, staying strong on his post. Riche got his pad right in there, jammed it so the puck could not get through, and now the Lakers with a chance.
Broman with a 2-on-1 with Spink, cutting in, shot, goes wide. Broman hit hard on the follow-through by Engvall, and he'll look to clear. Broman back on his feet now, behind the play, and Sloan cuts in, and it'll be offside, and the crowd does not like it here at the Stafford Ice Arena.
They don't like it, and neither does the Plattsburgh State team, but it looked like he was just a tad offsides entering the zone, and could have been a good opportunity. Travis Broman kind of got cleared into the boards there after the missed shot, and on that shot, that's a shot that Broman usually puts away. Not sure if it got deflected or what by Engvall, but it got hit up into the glass, and that's a shot that you don't see Broman missing by that much very often.
Sloan on the faceoff for Plattsburgh, and Zizek, his counterpart, for the Lakers. Kirkby and Berry flanking Zizek with what looks like Draben and, Barber on the points for Plattsburgh. Draben with it now. Fires it in as Oswego stands him up at the blue line. And Sloan trying to battle his way in front of Berry, but Kirkby gets it just out. Or good play by Barber to keep it in. And he'll battle with Kirkby along by the Plattsburgh bench.
These are the opportunities in the neutral zone where Oswego's got to win that puck battle. They do there, but they flip it down. Not the play you want. You got to get something going, set up on offense. They've been kind of on their heels in the second period.
Pizzo's pass intercepted by Berry, who will fire it in. And now Zizek on the forecheck. Sloan picks it up, the captain, for Plattsburgh. And now on the far side is Plattsburgh. 2-on-1. And just misconnecting it.
Great play there by Devin Campbell, actually, to deflect that. Sorry, Matt. But Campbell with the big defensive play. That could have been a 2-on-1 and an empty-sided net on David Riche.
Plattsburgh with it now, losing it to Solo. He'll fire it in for Nanadol, and Sullivan with it now. He loses track of the puck, slows down, and he'll have to fire it in with Scorpio forechecking on Barber. Pizzo with it now, and a big hit by Sullivan, but he doesn't take the puck, and now Plattsburgh clears only the length to Solo at his own blue line. Nanadol at the red line, and Sullivan tries to chip it in to Parita.
It's been an uncharacteristic period, really whole game for the Lakers. They just haven't been able to find the clicks on offense in terms of their lines.
Decent chance for Sullivan off the Nanadol pass, but nothing going there for him. And now DeFelice with it, finds his way over to Ovchinnikov, who beats his man, but he gets tripped up, and a good play by Solo.
Palaniuk tangled up there in the corner, it looked like. And Lakers, these are neutral zone, not neutral zone, but neutral puck battles they've got to win, and they come away with one there.
Scorpio with it now, looking to go off on a rush. He'll beat a couple guys and leave it for Spink. Back down to Scorpio at the half wall. Waits a little bit, fires it in. Cannot get it to Scorpio's, but Scorpio picks back up. But now Spink with it at the half wall, circling back at the dot. Cuts in, back around the net to Scorpio. Can't handle the puck, back to the point for Curry. Over to Allen. Waits, shot, saved by Parita, and he just got over. Great positional save by him.
That was a great line, though, between Jody Sullivan and Joey Scorpio, trying to get something going down low. We talked about this first line being a little bit of an interesting one. Now Travis Broman and Passero coming on the ice. But that first line, second line is kind of the table setters for this third line almost in a way to try to generate those good chances, those points, kind of wear down that Plattsburgh defense. A good job there by the Lakers. They're finally starting to get some of those grade A opportunities.
Yeah, when you move your feet, you get those opportunities, and Plattsburgh comes away with it now. And they've got a 4-on-2 rush. Passero back-checking hard. Middleton cutting through the open slot. He'll pick up. The defenseman circles back, but Broman picks it up, and now Oswego looking for a chance the other way. Broman will slow it down in his own end, and he'll get it just to Tyler Curry at the blue line. Spink gets a pass, and he evades Middleton. He'll cut back, and Middleton picks it back up. The two dive for it, and it goes back into Oswego's end.
Seems like a matter of time before Tanner Spink breaks free. He's had a couple of opportunities where he almost has broken loose. Just missed one there. Was able to deke one defender, but unable to shake the second.
Passero can't get his pass through Middleton's skates, but Carter Allen will pinch in from the back end. And a shot off the post and goes out of play off the netting. Oswego State will get an offensive zone faceoff.
It's just looked a little bit hectic from the Lakers on the offensive end. They haven't, like I mentioned before, they haven't set up, but it's also just those chances in front of the net where you're missing a guy like LeBlanc, a guy like Gillespie, who will dig down low, get it back up to the point in the high slot, and that's where the Lakers are at their best, putting those big bodies like Novick and Campbell in right now, that first defensive pairing that can generate some offense.
Yeah, Oswego's almost chasing the puck more than anticipating where it's going to be, and when you're a step behind, you know, you don't generate a lot of opportunities that we're used to seeing for the Lakers. As Brown fires a puck off of the skates of Barber, and Oswego State cannot clear. As Barber with a now 2-on-1 opportunity, but a good play by Campbell to break that up. Stallard with it now, and he'll fire it in. Novick picking up, giving chase Egan.
Good news for Oswego State is they've done well in the defensive end. As I say that, they turned the puck over. Max Novick there, unable to corral it, but now they can reset with Campbell. But Plattsburgh really pushing hard on that forecheck.
Yeah, really strong forecheck, something a bit uncharacteristic of them. They're a lot more of a buckle-down team, a team kind of like Potsdam where they're physical, they're gritty, as we see some pushing and shoving in front of the net with 11:24 left to go in the second period. But for the Lakers, you've got to generate more offense. How do you do that?
Well, honestly, the aggressive forecheck for Plattsburgh might not be the worst thing in the world for Oswego State. You might want to catch him sleeping, maybe find a man out of the box for a breakaway, a guy like Spink who's kind of been hovering around that blue line area of Plattsburgh. And if you're Oswego State, maybe this aggressive forecheck, I mean, Plattsburgh's up 2-0. They don't necessarily need to stay that aggressive, but you know they want to put on a show their last home game. So maybe take advantage of the uncharacteristic aggressiveness from the Cardinals.
And looks like the linesman or the referee calling
get them both out of here. We're a double switch.
Double switch, and Barry will pick it up the center in his own right, wins it back for Novick with a little help from Zizek. Waits, shot off Barry's skates, and Sloan looking to clear and generate some offense for Plattsburgh. And a good play by Barry on his torso, just getting it out to Campbell. Firing for Barry, 2-on-1 with Zizek. Waits, back for Curry, shot, save, rebound. And Zizek can't pull the trigger as Draben's able to pick up the loose puck. 2-on-2 the other way now for Plattsburgh. Draben waits, cuts back in, and he'll circle around back to the point for Walgren. Back out for Sloan. And we'll have a whistle here. And looks like there'll be a chance for a face-off and a line change for the Lakers and Plattsburgh, respectively.
Best chance the Lakers have had this period there from Canberra, the 2-on-1. And he's a guy that, unfortunately for the Lakers, hasn't shown up as much in the points department coming back from that injury. But he shows up in every other category. You said that great player where he was diving on the ground. He had the 2-on-1, thought maybe he was going to pull the shot, decided to dump it. And I think that pass was actually the smart play to make by Barry. So good awareness to know he had a teammate behind him.
Solo trying to clear, cannot do so. But Nanado trying as well, knocks his man down, and he'll get it just the length of the ice. Icing call, but Scorpio trying to break it out, and he'll beat Middleton to the puck. No ice. Scorpio with it now. Ovchinnikov, gets the puck, but not until Joey Sullivan can pick it up. A couple guys battle here. Engvall on Sullivan. Sullivan trying to move it, and there'll be what looks like a holding call on Engvall, and that's a pretty solid call there. Puck moves away, and he's still holding on to Sullivan.
Yeah, Engvall might have been getting away with that a couple of times. He's been a little bit prone to hold on to the bodies of Oswego. Maybe got a little bit of a warning before. He's kind of laughing it off, but he's on his way to the box, and we'll see if Oswego State can finally crack that penalty kill unit for Plattsburgh State. The crowd is not happy about that call, but I think these refs got it right.
Yeah, and that's his 36th and 37th penalty minute of the season, and you see it, the hold pretty blatant, and for Engvall, he's a solid penalty killer for this team. So Oswego State, you've got to break even here. You've got to try to get off the schneid of not really being able to score here against Plattsburgh.
Yeah, and it helps to get that 6'7" body off of the penalty kill unit, and we'll see Oswego State can now generate a little bit more down low as they keep the puck in the zone.
Emerson fires it around, but Parita mishandles the puck as it takes a weird bounce. Spink cannot corral it. Great job by Pizzo on him. Out in slot, and a great stop by Stoller, the captain, breaking up a backdoor chance for Zizek.
Good job by Plattsburgh to get back because Zizek was wide open. Unfortunately, Mitch Emerson took a minute to corral the puck, so he couldn't find him in front of the net.
Lakers breaking out. It's Passero across the blue line. Almost offside is Emerson, but no call there by the linesman. Zizek misses it, and now Owens has a chance up the gut if he can beat Novik. He does so. Breakaway, cuts in, and cannot get the handle. And it looked like Plattsburgh almost calling for it, and now there's a chance for Emerson the other way. Plattsburgh might have been looking for a penalty there, but no call by the refs as Pizzo takes Emerson into the boards. Spink hit hard by Owens, and now it's a 2-on-2 battle. Plattsburgh happy to have it sit, but Oswego gets it back. Novik will slow it down. Shot, good block by Draben there. Joe Draben with a great block getting down to one knee. Zizek with it, back down to Emerson who cannot corral it, and it's back out to Novik. Now to Passero, fakes the shot, back down low, across the crease, but Wahlgren, the big body, able to block that as Spink gets it back out to Passero at the point. He'll slow it down a little bit now to Novik at center point. Looking, Zizek open, gets the one-timer, back out Spink, and what a save by Pareda cutting across the crease. Passero with it now at the half wall. Slowing it down again for the Lakers, 25 seconds to go in the power play. This is the best one they've had so far. Novik at center point, back shot, over across to Zizek on the pass was Emerson, but Zizek couldn't corral it. Novik with it now. Back to Zizek at the circle. Center point, Novik shot off the back wall, and Emerson can't tuck it. And Plattsburgh with the clear, and Coach Emery is ecstatic with that.
An amazing penalty kill there from Plattsburgh. We've talked about it all game long. One of the best in the country, and they're kind of daring Oswego State to shoot from the point. They want them to go down low where Plattsburgh has their big bodies planted. And there's a big hit from Josh Zenadal trying to set the tone for the Lakers.
And there's Lawson with a big hit. Collides with Sullivan. And Kuhn will try to get into the zone. He breaks three, but Nanadil picks it up and mishandles the puck. McCartney keeps it in. He's tripped up by Kuhn and allows the Lakers to clear momentarily. And they'll call it offside on Plattsburgh. 7:55 left to go in this second period.
A little bit of an awkward play there from Plattsburgh State, tripping the own player. Kuhn actually got entangled in the skates of, I think it was McCartney, and Plattsburgh offsides, and they'll have to reset. 7:55, like you said, Matt, remaining in the second period, and Oswego State's got to start chipping away at that lead because it's still 2-0, and they're out shooting the Cardinals by 10, unofficially on the scoreboard, 19-9. They've got to get those better opportunities, though.
And it seems like for the Lakers, you want to get that dirty goal because once you get that one, perhaps the floodgates open. Middleton fires it in, but cannot get it past what looked like Allen. The crowd again wanting a penalty as Allen got a stick up high on a Plattsburgh forward, but no call. Plattsburgh retains possession. Shot from the point, blocked out in front, and unable to clear as Oswego State until it finally squirts out. Lawson firing it back in off of Kuhn, and they'll call that offside. 7:23 left to go.
Carter Allen really might have gotten away with the trip there. It looked like he got caught up in the skates. Maybe the ref wasn't quite paying attention. The crowd really wanted that call. They're not going to get it, but we're going to have a full line change for Plattsburgh here. 7:23 remaining in the second period.
Lakers sending out that powerful unit, that third line, of course, with Passero, Spink, and Broman. Countering is Plattsburgh with their top line of Stallard, Egan, and Owens. The trio of seniors, great leaders on this team as well. And they'll get it out to Egan. Shot from the slot is sticked on, was by Broman, and Egan could not corral that in his feet in time to get the shot off.
Great job by Riche there to kind of come out of the crease and cover the puck because Owens was lingering in front of the crease, but Riche dove and stopped the puck. No rebound opportunity there, but luckily for Oswego State, Egan unable to control the puck there. The senior had a tough time with it, and no shot was generated. But like I said, Riche coming out of the net there to make a solid play.
Both lines remain out there, and Oswego State clears. Wahlgren can't get a piece of it, and it'll be an icing. But Broman was a step in front of his man, and you know it's a hybrid icing, so you can't say it's a bad call, but that's an iffy call.
It is an iffy call. Broman had at least a step, a stride there, and I believe it was Egan. I'm surprised at the icing call there because I thought Broman clearly had him beat down the ice.
You know,
now the ref's discussing.
No, go ahead.
Oh, they're discussing it. I believe they can change that call if they believe that it was wrong. And it looks like they're going to keep it in the Oswego defensive zone.
And the one thing I would say is, in D3 hockey, you want to keep it safety over everything. So, with a step on him, they were two guys battling for the boards. You could have seen potentially an unintentionally dirty hit and really a bad hit to see had they not blown that dead. So I don't love the call, but safety over everything. As Walgren gets a shot, and a big rebound comes out to Broman. Broman fires the Spink over to Pissarro with it now, and they're going to try to generate some offense just onside of Spink. And a great stick lift there by the back checking of Chinnikov.
Spink had a stride there, unable to break free, though.
Of Chinnikov with it now, trying to dangle, and a great stop by Broman. Out to Spink at his own blue line. He'll look to generate some offense here with Pissarro behind him. Walgren stands up Spink along the boards, and DeFelice loses to Pissarro momentarily, but Arajal will pick it up. Flips it back to Walgren. Over to DeFelice, who crosses center ice with it now here. And Campbell with it going for a big hip check, and he misses bad. But Zizek with it gets over to Kirkby, and it's just out of his reach. Excuse me. Berry, shot, goes off the back boards, and a big hit by Barber on Zizek. Berry with it now, cuts on DeFelice at the circle, and he's tripped up, no call. Barber gets hit by Kirkby, but Walgren will pick it up along the dots, and he'll fire it out. But a good keep by Solo, and he'll lose it to Walgren.
Refs have really been letting them play. A couple of, not missed calls, but iffy calls as Plattsburgh turns it over within their own zone.
Pelnick coming in from the D zone and looks for a nifty pass out, but Kirkby, his stick's tied up by Draven. Great play by him. Sloan with it here, losing it, but Nanadil will try to pick it up. And a whistle blown dead, and Zizek's down over in the Plattsburgh end, and he's slow to get up.
Not sure exactly what happened there to Josh Zizek, but not a good sign for Oswego State. Down in that corner, and he might have, not sure if he's taken a hit, but we've got trainers out assisted by Canberry, and not what you want to see for Oswego State.
And he's not moving. He's taking his helmet off here. One glove is off already, and Cameron Baring helping the trainer out here as we wait and see what's going on.
Looks like he took a hard hit in that corner. The head might have bounced off the wall. Always a scary situation with concussions in Division III hockey. And for Oswego State and also for Zizek, this arena has fallen silent because those head injuries are nothing to joke about.
Most definitely, and the trainer doing a good job with him as Isaac's slow to get up. He'll get up, picking up both his gloves. The crowd saluting him as he skates off under his own power, so maybe a little shaken up. We'll have to wait and see if he goes into the dressing room here.
Always a good sign there, and they're going to do a good job in that, concussion evaluation to see if he's okay to go. Of course, taking the helmet off isn't a great sign, but skating off under his own power, and Zizek looks like he's going to go back to the bench, but he's going to have a word with the trainer first.
Yeah, and he didn't seem to labor at all with that. Really standing up perpendicular to the ice, and Campbell now talking to the referees. And just on that hit, you were completely right there. It looked like it was,
I believe it was Barber.
It was Barber, you're right, with the hit, and it looked like Zizek's head bouncing off the glass. Seems to be okay, taking a sip of water on the bench. And
no penalty there, but kind of that aggressive hit that they want to talk to the players about. Calm that down a little bit. We understand it's a rivalry, but we can't have guys' safety on the line in the corners.
I don't think that's intentional at all. I think it's a good, solid, clean hit, and Barber standing at 6'1", a bigger body than Zizek at 5'9". It's unfortunate that just the sizes don't line up as we have a face-off on the Oswego State end. And Plattsburgh does a good job to keep it in. Sloan with it behind the net. Cuts around Curry, and Oswego State able to clear to Falanga, who picks it up and is trying to recoil on his own end.
5:30 remaining in the period, and it seems like the Lakers have dominated in terms of chances. They just haven't been able to find the puck, the back of the net, and you just want to make sure you want to try to get that one goal before going into the locker room, get some momentum going.
And Sullivan and Draven collide, and Sullivan using his hands a little bit on the head of Draven. Nothing going on there, although the red zone, the student section for Plattsburgh, wanted a little something going on. And a bad pass leaves for Draven, and a good back check there for Carter Allen. And if you're Tyler Curry, what are you thinking passing that right out in front of the slot?
Yeah, not a great decision there from Curry, and now a lost puck in front of the net for Plattsburgh, and a lost stick also for Plattsburgh.
Tyler Curry with it now behind his own end. Look to recoil, and now a heavy forecheck by Plattsburgh. They win it back. Shot by McCarthy. Good block by Nanadol. McCarthy picks it back up into the circle, and he'll try to wing it back in front. But Oswego State breaks out now with Tyler Curry. He'll fire it in and go for a line change. Spink forechecking here. And McCartney does a good job trying to get it out. But a great job by Broman, but it just comes out. And Middleton with it here as Carter Allen, fired it in. Plattsburgh out with it. McCartney almost hit big by Broman, but he evades it. Cuts around, and now Pissarro with it, looking to generate something here on a potential 3-on-2. Broman streaking down the side, cuts in. Good hard stop behind the net, and they'll go to work here, 3-on-2 in favor of the Plattsburgh.
Good job there. Broman's one of the faster guys, but a good job to cut off the angle there by our UO, and Campbell now keeping the puck in for the Lakers.
McCartney with it here, loses to Campbell once more. With that third line coming out here for Oswego State, or fourth line, excuse me, with Molinaro battling. Cannot pick it up, and Plattsburgh will clear just to the red line as Campbell knocks it down, waiting for his team to go onside. And Broman and Owens are shoving, referee getting in between them, and now it's a break for Egan the other way. Leaves it for Stollard, but a good job by Oswego State backing him up. Emerson cuts in now, cuts around behind the net, back on the other side, goes for a wraparound, no one home to put in the rebound, as Stollard picks it up. And now Plattsburgh's got some numbers. Almost a big hit by Novak, but he stops it. And now he's got a chance 2-on-1 as Plattsburgh was caught in a change. 2-on-2 with it. Novak holds. Back in for Emerson. Or Molinaro, excuse me. And Arajau does a good job keeping it. But Brown almost with it. Almost with a chance dangling around in tight. Brown behind the net now. Pizzo and Arajau double team him. But Molinaro picks it up. Cuts out in front. No one in front of the net as Emerson tries to get a shot on it, but can't get the handle. DeFelice with a good job clearing, but not before he takes a hard hit by Emerson. Pelnick fires it around, and Kirkby's offside, so he'll have to wait to touch up. And he does so. DeFelice with it now. 2-on-3, and a good save by Riche steering into the half wall. Kirkby will get it back to his teammate behind the net, and Solo will reset.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. Oswego State starting to put some pressure on, get some opportunities, but hopefully for the Lakers, it's not too little too late, but Plattsburgh State doing a good job staying back and avoiding those 2-on-1 opportunities.
Parita stops the Kirkby dump in, and it's Barber the other way. Good stop by Carter Allen holding the line. Shot saved by Parita with 2:11 left to go here in this second period, excuse me. And if you're Oswego State, you have to get traffic in front of the net because that's an easy save Parita's going to stop 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, Isaac and Kirkby looked like they were trying to create some traffic in front of the net there, but they were a little bit too late. If you're Carter Allen, you maybe want to hold that shot for a couple seconds. And you want to get those shots low on the pads. If it's up in the glove area, Parita's going to snag it, like you said, 100 out of 100 times. You've got to get the puck low and create those deflections. They had a couple of them, but just no one in front of the net. It's just uncharacteristic from this Oswego State team.
And this is the Lakers line here with Cameron Berry, Zizek, and Kirkby. So good to see Zizek back out there after a tough hit. But they're going to try to generate something, especially along the boards. One of those better cycling lines, but Plattsburgh has it, only to lose it to Zizek, who spins it back for Allen in his own end behind his net. Over to Berry, waits, cross-ice pass for Zizek. He's got some speed and space, and he'll cut in, leaves it for Kirkby. Kirkby at the circle, cuts to his backhand, cuts to the net, and a great play by Middleton to deflect it wide. Back to Carter Allen, and over to Tyler Curry. Back down low for Nadal, across for Zizek, can't get it there. Kirkby with a shot, and a big save by Parita. And he's no problem flashing the leather, 1:28 to go.
Yeah, Parita's been flashing the leather all night. That one was a little bit tougher, and the initial opportunity between, I believe it was Josh Zizek, tried to dump it off, a little nifty pass, but one thing the Lakers have kind of struggled with is finding that nice angle for a shot. They've kind of had a tough angle, and that was a nice snag by Parita, but not the hardest save in the world to make, as he only had one post to defend.
Unofficial shots favor Oswego State, 21-14, so they're generating offense, but again, get traffic in front of Parita. You know, he's not a big guy. He's only 6'2", so you could certainly get traffic and make it uncomfortable for him, something they did in the whiteout game as Plattsburgh clears, looking like it might go for an icing, and it will.
Minute 14. Can the Lakers get anything going on offense here? They've got, it looks like, Curry staying on the ice and Carter Allen up top, so, they're going to actually be off the ice. So Novak and Campbell up top, that's the offensive pairing you want on defense, I should say. So Scorpio, this is a big face-off. You got to at least tangle up Owens in the circle.
And he'll win it back to Novak. Fires a shot, deflected off Scorpio, and it goes wide. Arajau with it now, fires it off the boards, and only to Novak at the red line. He'll cut in, Scorpio's just offside. And that's a solid call by the linesman. Might have had a foot on, but it got to be entirely off.
Yeah, Scorpio not exactly all the way off, and Max Novak looked like he maybe couldn't have pivoted his head enough to really even see Scorpio back, because I'm not sure exactly what happened, but Scorpio's kind of lingering back towards the Plattsburgh end. So if you're Scorpio, you got to get away, but Novak's got to be a little bit more aware.
That third line of Pissarro, Broman, and Spink out here against Stallard, Owens, and Egan, and Egan shot out of a cannon trying to forecheck Campbell. Spink with it now, gets it over to Broman, and tries to find Passero, and he does. Styler with a good job stick lifting him, and he'll try to clear here, unable to do so, but Broman pulls it out. Caught within the refs along that low boards, and Novik picks it up, and he'll wait and fire a shot, rebound out over to the half wall for Spink. He'll fire it down low, but Wahlgren picking it up. The big Swedish defenseman, leaves it for Egan at the half wall, who will fire it out of play.
Good job by Plattsburgh, kind of, getting back that defensive mindset. They've only got 20 seconds to kill off in the second.
Broman with it here down low, back out wide, and Spink can't get the handle. 15 left, and Plattsburgh trying to kill the rest of the clock of this period here. With a 3-on-2, they might try to generate something here. Draben, shot, goes wide, rebound, out in front, and a good job by Brown to pick it up. 5 seconds left here. Trying for one last chance for the Lakers. Offside is Emerson, and that'll do it here for the second period at the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena. Lakers down 2-0, but they're up 22-15 unofficially on shots on goal.
Yeah, I thought they owned the shots. They owned the chances in the second period, but Plattsburgh still owns the scoreboard, and that's another win for the Cardinals. Going up 2-0, it's going to be tough to get at least 2 goals on Parita in the third, and a good chance there actually by Plattsburgh. Good job by the Lakers to avoid that third goal, which would have been a crusher going into the locker room.
Yeah, now if you're Coach Gosick, looking forward into this third period, what are you telling your guys here?
Well, Plattsburgh at the end of the second period looked like they wanted to sit back and play a little bit more conservative, so keep the foot on the gas. You saw Josh Zizek with a couple of opportunities to kind of push that 2-on-1, and that's where the Lakers are going to get their goals. You don't want Plattsburgh to set up on defense where they have the size advantage.
That's all the time we have right now here in Plattsburgh at the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena. So we're going to send it back to the Al Roker Studios with Brian Rudman and the guys here for the Intermission Report. You're watching WTOP 10.
Guys, I don't feel so good. Shouldn't have had that chili for lunch.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach re-employment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
And welcome back to Hockey Night in Oswego, right here live in Oswego at the Al Roker Studio. Once again, Owen Gallagher, Zach Haynes, I'm Brian Rudman with the second intermission report. And guys, nothing on the scoreboard in that second period. What did you guys see differently out of both Plattsburgh and Oswego in the second period?
I mean, both teams are starting to settle in now. We've got, they already had 1 period on their belt. They're in it now in the second, headed into the third. But it seemed like they started to clamp down defensively a little bit more effectively than they were to start the game. Oswego seemed to be getting caught on their heels early, but they're starting to settle in.
I mean, I think you said it best. Oswego's finally finding their rhythm in the Plattsburgh arena, but Plattsburgh is also starting to cool off, especially after that first period where they had the 2 scores to 0. They're just starting to cool off a little bit, and that's something they should not be doing right now.
And we haven't seen Oswego get on the board. A very high-scoring Lakers offense has not been able to convert yet today. What has Plattsburgh done well defensively to keep Oswego off the board?
Well, I mean, Plattsburgh isn't allowing any kind of second shot opportunities for Oswego. After that initial shot, Plattsburgh is clearing the crease and clearing the puck right away, something that Oswego doesn't seem to be doing.
I mean, Plattsburgh is just playing excellent defense right now. You cannot deny that. They're killing the penalties right now. They're making sure that Oswego is not being able to use their high efficient power play right now. They're just executing well on the defensive end, and they're keeping up on the offensive end as well.
And if you're in that Oswego locker room right now, if you're head coach Ed Gosick, what's your message to your guys to try and get them back in this game?
Well, I think you can't just throw away what you're doing right away. You got to stick to your game plan, what you have in place. But it's where are your shots coming from? You got to look on the ice. Where are you getting your shots from? Plattsburgh, we're seeing getting opportunities in the slot. Oswego doesn't really have those scoring angles, and you're just hurting yourself in that instance.
I mean, we saw there towards the end of the second period, they're not getting the right shots off as they need to. They're taking these wide, crazy shots that they're not really used to taking anyways, and they're not able to get that screen pass going right now. So they're just not making that great shot selection.
And now we're going to have a chance to take a look at the period summary and really compare the numbers for both teams. So, guys, what are these stats telling you about how the game has been played so far?
Honestly, it's been a pretty even contest. Just the turnover battle. Oswego's been turning over the puck in their defensive zone far too often, and they've gotten away with it at some points, but they've been burned. And you can see right there, the current score, 2-0, shows that.
I mean, you look at the shots right now, the Lakers do have the edge on that and on the faceoffs, but nothing's really translating into offensive scores right now. The power play is 0-3 right now. One of the top teams in the nation for power plays. It's just not converting right now, and then Plattsburgh is fine. We figured it out.
And now we saw that it's 23-14 in shots. Riche hasn't seen that many shots, but he's still let 2 in. What has been his problem tonight?
He's really been struggling. I tell you, though, the guys in front of him haven't really been helping him in any way. Riche, again, we said he's susceptible to giving up a couple quick goals back-to-back. But again, he's made some solid saves when he's had to. We started off with the one at the beginning of the game even, where he made that nice glove save, as you see it right there in the highlight. So like Riche, he's got to keep his head in the game, and it's just got to be a matter of his D-men rallying around him to pick him up.
I mean, that's a big thing right now. I mean, despite those 2 scores that are let in, he's been doing a great amount of saves throughout the game so far. That second period you saw, he was able to get more deflections, more rebounds, and more saves going in that second period. I mean, that's a big thing for him, is improving throughout the game. You got to stay improving throughout the game, and that will create opportunities for your team to score as well.
And now moving to the other end of the ice, Oswego has won the shot battle with 23 right now. What has Pareda been able to do to keep Oswego off the scoreboard?
Man, oh man, Jimmy Pareda making my pick of the day, looking pretty good right now. He has had a phenomenal game thus far, playing the puck effectively outside of the crease and making some big saves on these Oswego chances. You see it here, a 2-on-1 opportunity for Oswego. This was early too to get some momentum going, and he just is a brick wall in net. Jimmy Pareda is the reason why Plattsburgh is up 2-0 in this game, just a brick wall.
I think you said it best. He's a brick wall right now. He knows all the shot selections that Oswego is going to take on him, especially in that center ice. He's been studying film all week probably and knows all the movements right now. So he's has the upper hand so far in this game.
One thing you notice, though, on these shot attempts from Oswego, not a lot of traffic out in front of the net. They've gotten some fast break opportunities like 2-on-1s that they obviously have to capitalize on. But when you're in the zone attacking this kind of defense that Plattsburgh has, you got to get bodies in front of the net, and you got to be physical. You can't let them push you off the crease.
Now, speaking of keeping Oswego off the board, Zach, your player to watch for Plattsburgh was a defenseman. What has he done so far in this game to make an impact?
He's just been contributing the best he can, obviously. There's a lot going on. A lot of people are passing around the puck right now. He's just kind of laying back a little bit, but, you know, he did get the start for this game. Aurora's just been trying his best to get into this game. I mean, a lot of Plattsburgh players are rotating in.
Definitely. And now, in terms of what Oswego's players to watch have been for you guys, what has Passero and Allen done tonight, or what have they not done tonight to help Oswego?
Yeah, Passero's been a little quiet. He hasn't been too involved on the power play, which we've seen. Again, he's known for his scoring and really his dishing of the puck. 12 assists on the year. I mean, obviously the 3 game-winning goals. Who knows if he could add a 4th today, the way that this thing is going. But again, He's the main man on this power play unit right now with Gillespie out, so he's got to get more involved. But again, Oswego hasn't been establishing a rhythm once they get it into the zone on their power play. So it's tough for Passero to even get control of the puck or even get to the center and start creating opportunities.
And, for Carter Allen, the same thing goes for him. He hasn't really got a rhythm. You saw him more and more in the second period. I mean, he has 2 goals for the season, 6 assists, but the big stat for him, the 20 blocks on the season, he hasn't really been playing defense that well, although he's starting to get a little footing in the second period. He's got to get in the way more. He's got to be able to get those block-ins and help out Richer.
Now, we talked about it a bit in the pregame. Oswego is missing 2 key players due to injury. We saw Zizek go down in that period hard. He did return, thankfully, for the Lakers. But how impactful have these injuries been, and is Zizek at risk going forward?
Oh, huge impact on this game, no question about it. With Zizek, honestly, if you're the coaching staff, you're probably monitoring his play. This game isn't necessarily, like a must-win. They can afford to drop this game. You lose momentum. But again, we're going to see another look at this hit. Zizek takes it right into the boards, gets hit almost up at the shoulder level, and again, just kind of gets crunched. Kind of an awkward hit here.
It reminds me a little bit of the Geneseo hit that Broman brought to that game. I mean, it looks kind of familiar. You did see the Plattsburgh player leave his right skate, and it was shoulder level. It was like what technically would be a clean hit, but, it was a hard hit to get against the boards.
Now, you touched on it. This isn't a must-win for Oswego, but how will losing this game, if they can't turn it around, affect their mindset and their morale heading into the semifinals next week?
This would be a huge blow for Oswego. I mean, again, it seems like we're saying the same story year after year in the postseason. Oswego, I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's just the player development, if somehow they're not getting the game plan at this point. But things have been working this year, and for some reason, Gosick just seems to struggle with making those small adjustments as the time goes on, and other teams are adjusting to his style of play and coaching.
I mean, I'm going to add a really quick note. That's a big thing is like player development. They haven't really seen much of playoffs. There's a lot of young guys on this squad. Last year it's just Fredonia. It's just they got to get that playoff mentality now.
And now we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this break. You're watching Hockey Night in Oswego on WTOP 10.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
It's taste, not toast.
Hi, I'm Anthony Citron, and for one view a day, you can help producers at WTOP get the recognition they deserve for their work. For just 30 minutes a day, you can help these students make sure their work does not go unnoticed. Please, click the link below and help these students get the recognition they deserve. All it takes is one view a day.
And welcome back to Hockey Night in Oswego here in the Al Roker studio. Once again, Owen Gallagher, Zach Haynes, I'm Brian Rudman. And we talked about it a little bit in the pregame show. There are other games going on around the SUNYAC today. We're going to take a look at them, starting with Morrisville versus Fredonia. That game is already concluded as a 3-2 win for Fredonia. Zach, take us through that game.
All right, like you said, it's a 3-2 win. Fredonia won in the shot battle there, 30-24. 30-24 in the shot battle. They also won in the power play battle, 1-4 versus the 1-6 in Morrisville. But they lost the face-off battle to Morrisville, 36-32. Guys, if you're Fredonia right now, you got to be a little bit scared for your team for the playoffs, considering that Morrisville is at the bottom of the conference and they were able to hang in with you for 2 days straight. That's not good. You got to change up your strategy going into next week.
Definitely. And now we're going to look at a game that's currently going on as Cortland is facing Potsdam right now in a game of two teams that are already eliminated. What's going on in that one?
Yeah, Cortland, Potsdam, again, you got two teams just kind of looking forward to next season, looking to get some momentum heading into the offseason. We got a 3-2 lead for Potsdam at the current time. They're really outplaying them in the shots category, even the power plays. Cortland just can't seem to capitalize on the power play opportunities. They're only 1 for 5. Face-off battle seems pretty consistent, but you're looking at a Cortland team right now that's coming off that disappointing loss at Plattsburgh. But again, it seems like they couldn't even carry any momentum from that game. They're still struggling with their power play, which you don't like to see.
Now, talking about the SUNYAC, we will have the semifinal game here next week for Oswego being the 2 seed. Now, how important will it be for them to be back at home?
Honestly, it's going to be huge. That's the one thing that if you're a Laker fan or any part of the Laker organization, that's what you're looking forward to, is coming back home. You're going to be well rested, maybe get some key players back from injuries, and that's big.
And that's a big thing. There's a possibility of you getting some of your injured players back. They'll have time to rest. They're not on the road, and that's pretty much it.
And now we're going to throw it back to the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena in Plattsburgh for the third period. We'll see you after the game for the post game. You're watching Hockey Night in Oswego right here on WTOP 10.
Welcome back to the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena in Plattsburgh. Matt Wadling here, joined alongside Luke Owens for the third and final frame of the regular season of Oswego State Lakers hockey. Oswego State's down 2-0 against Plattsburgh, but they generated more of the opportunities in that second period, outshooting Plattsburgh 14-6. Couldn't find a goal, but I think they need to find that one more to really open up the floodgates on Jimmy Parita.
Yeah, they've had a lot of time to feel each other out, these two teams. And in the first meeting, no one scored in the first period of the game, but then it was Anthony Passero who tallied the first goal, followed just 4 minutes later by Josh LeBlanc. So the Lakers want to kind of open the floodgates where one goal can lead to many. And with only 20 minutes remaining, they've got to get something going early.
Yeah, Oswego State seems once they get that first goal and once they score a goal, they generate a lot of momentum. So score early here in this third period and try to dominate the rest of play. Campbell with it behind his own end will play catch with Novick. Gets up to Scorpio, and a good stick check by the Plattsburgh defense in the neutral zone. Shot by Sullivan, easy save by Parita. 19:43 here to go in the third period.
Yeah, early chance a little bit there by Sullivan, but he didn't really have people trailing him. Maybe that's a play where you want to kind of curve that back out and try to set up from the point. Kind of a 1-on-4 almost there, and Sullivan, an easy save for Parita.
Yeah, and really for Sullivan, you just want to establish an offensive zone face-off. Get your big boys out here. Get Passero, get Broman. These guys, they've been active, but they haven't really found the scoring sheet like all of Oswego State has so far today. They're going to try to generate with Novick on the puck. He'll fire it in low to Broman. Hit hard by Barber, and he'll clear the zone, only to Max Novick at the halfway point. And now Pizzo with it. He'll get it back and fire it to Draben, who tries to exit the zone. He'll do so, but Tyler Curry picks it up at his own blue line, and he'll recoil, trying to get the Lakers offense going. No ice here, as it looked like Plattsburgh touched it up.
Coach Gosick quick to go to that third line here. Only let his first line out for 17 seconds before going right into that third line. And that's the line he wanted in the faceoff, as now it's going back down to the other end early on in the third.
And they'll call that an ice against Plattsburgh. 19:10 to go here in the third period. And it looks like they're setting up for a center ice faceoff here.
Interesting call there. Back to center ice, and now the Canberry Josh Zizek line is back out there. And Barry, you know, he hasn't quite been able to get that grade A opportunity, but he's been real close a couple of times. I think he's had an overall solid game for Oswego State.
Yeah, definitely. He's a guy who loves to play against Plattsburgh. Up until this past whiteout weekend, this past last semester, he was the only active Laker to have a point against Plattsburgh. And I believe that might have been a point at home during a whiteout game. So he's a guy that definitely wants to get on the board here for the Lakers. And that line that he plays alongside Zyzik and Tyson Kirkby, that's a line that can generate a lot of offense. Zyzik, 11 goals on the season, 11 points for him, or 11 assists as well. And Kirkby, a couple points in just 8 games played for the freshman, as Oswego State's third line comes out here to take the face-off, or fourth line, excuse me, and they'll lose it here, or they'll win it all the way back to Oswego's end.
Big line here for Curry and Allen anchoring that defense. They haven't had the best opportunities anchoring it, but now they've got another chance.
Monroe looks the toe drag and loses it to Falanga, who whiffs on a pass, and now Oswego State has a 2-on-1. Emerson tries to get the pass across over to, and Derek Brown almost with a shot, and really a tough pass for the Lakers as the Plattsburgh defender was sliding down. Should have looked shot there, but Sloan cuts in. Carter Allen picks up the loose puck.
Almost a weird decision there on a pass there. It looked like it should have maybe been a shot on the 2-on-1, and the deflection off the diving Plattsburgh player almost came to Brown in front of the net, and a weird sequence there on a line change. They kind of caught Plattsburgh slipping.
Oswego State gets it back in their own end, and it's Solo recoiling. He'll fire it over to Sullivan, who will fire it in deep. Walgren chased by Scorpio, and it'll send all the way around here for DeFelice, one of the goal scorers for this Plattsburgh team. They'll get a ship in, and Ovchinnikov is on the forecheck. Man, he's been firing on all cylinders tonight, generating a lot of speed and a big forecheck as he's hit hard by Sullivan, and they'll battle along the boards. Sullivan gets it over to Scorpio, and he'll clear. But Plattsburgh picks it up in their own end, and now Oswego State will try to forecheck. And Sullivan with a big hit on DeFelice.
No
Plattsburgh clear another big hit, Nanadol on Ovchinnikov.
Oswego State trying to get physical, establish a tone here early in the third. It's not creating a lot of offensive chances, but the benches are certainly starting to get into it.
Spink with it here, up to Nanadol. And he'll try to chip it in and go for a line change. Campbell with it back now at his own blue line, and he'll try to fire it in for Scorpio, who just gets it in deep.
A lot of neutral zone chances here for both teams. Really nothing going in terms of offense, and once again, just feeling each other out. In Plattsburgh, they're going to be content to sit back and play defense. They're playing with a 2-0 lead.
And Oswego State has a 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Spink with it now. Over to Pissarro, cannot pick it up, and it'll go behind the net. Spink with it now, out in front. Gets to Campbell. Shot. Tipped, and it goes wide.
Good job by Broman planting in front of the net. We've talked about Oswego failing to get in front of Parita and interrupt his vision, but Broman got his body in front there on the Campbell shot.
Novik will wait and recoil, let his team set up as they're in half of a change. But Pissarro picks it up and trying to get some speed. He fires a pass over to Broman, who will fire it in deep. Kirkby chasing Parita, picks up the puck. He'll leave it for Engvall, the big senior at 6'7", trying to make his way through the neutral zone. Will fire it in. Stopped by Carter Allen, no ice.
Engvall, some nifty moves at 6'7". Now the forecheck aggressive again.
Now in front is Stollard for Egan, who cannot handle the puck quite as nicely. He'll just dump it in for Owens, who's going to forecheck. And it'll be sent way out of play by Carter Allen. 15:58 to go in this third period.
And they're going to say that got deflected, but Zyzik, and I believe that was, yes, it was Kirkby on the hit there. They kind of double-teamed the same man. Kind of a risky play, kind of put your team down a man. Both people hitting the same man is never a good opportunity. But for Plattsburgh, they're going to keep it within their own zone. They haven't gotten a lot of offense really generated since that first period. But you know they'd like to tally a third goal and try to put this game away.
So he loses the face-off, but they'll battle hard with it here. And it's Arajau. Sliding is Barry, good breakup, and he gets the puck first, so no penalty. A big rebound left for Walgren here. And he loses it, and Kirkby has a race with him. Kirkby has a step. He has a breakaway. Cuts in, backhand, and cannot get the handle on it. No save for Parita, but a good play by him nonetheless.
Yeah, great chance there from Kirkby on the break. Looked like he couldn't get that right angle, and now another tangle. We got a penalty coming up. Going against Kirkby for Oswego State.
And Falanga cross-checks him. Oswego State not too happy about that. But it looks like it'll be a power play for Plattsburgh once Oswego touches it up. Walgren with it now as they set up shop behind his own net.
Good job to set up. They've got time with Parita leaving the ice.
As they finally make their way down, it's Egan who loses the puck to Brown. Knocks his man down, and finally it'll be Emerson touching up. After the final minutes of play here, when the clock hits double zeros. We'll have the post-game show back in the Al Roker studio with Brian Rudman and the guys breaking down this final regular season contest for Oswego State, taking on their rival Plattsburgh in their senior game.
And we'll see what they have to talk about. 14:55 remaining, and now Oswego State needs to kill off this penalty. It's going to be key because if Plattsburgh State gets a power play goal, it's going to be another momentum booster for them, and a 3-0 lead with 14 minutes would be absolutely devastating. So a big kill here for Oswego State.
And Allen tries to fire it around. It looked like it hit off the cage, and it'll squirt all the way out back behind Parita's cage. And it's Pizzo picking it up. Now for Sloan.
As Sloan carries the zone for Plattsburgh State, and they're going to have a chance to set up, but Oswego once again with a nice clear, and they're not letting them get set up. As Pizzo skates backwards for Plattsburgh State, trying to get something set up.
Yeah, it's Pizzo here, streaking through the ice. Decent forecheck by the Lakers, but Sloan picks it up. And a good active stick there, holding the line as Oswego State momentarily, and a decent hit by Nenadol. Molinaro knocks down his man, no call, and they'll fire at the length of the ice as Parita plays it.
We talked about Plattsburgh State having a real tough time on the power play this year, and Oswego State, keeping the pressure on with that forecheck here as Nenadol actually behind the net of Parita. They don't even want Plattsburgh State to get set up, and I think that's the right approach to a power play unit that's really struggled this year. And another clear there for Oswego.
Parita will play it again. 50 seconds left on this power play for Plattsburgh, and Nenadol has it. Fires a shot just wide, and looked like he used Arjau as a screen. And Pelnick will fire a shot. Parita lets it out to Walgren here.
Oswego State, tons of time to get the lines they want out there to now put Barry in a little bit of a bigger forward, and Plattsburgh State's actually going to ice this puck, and it's been a real mess of a power play so far for Plattsburgh.
Yeah, and really the best chance came on that Nenadol shot and the Pelnick follow-up, and this is a team that has a lot of shorthanded goals on their person. It looks like Nenadol has 3 alone by himself.
And Nenadol, a good chance there. Kind of waited to take the shot, and then Pelnick with the follow-through, and that was the exact right play for Oswego State. Kill some time, and also, keep Parita on his toes as these final minutes loom closer.
And for Oswego State, you want to generate some momentum off this kill if you can kill off the final 30 seconds of it. 13:25 left. And they're really hemming in Plattsburgh's power play as that's Cameron Barry on the forecheck. Knocks down Arjau, forces Walgren to pick it up, and he'll try to generate something as the forecheck eases up. Arjau back over to Walgren, who loses the puck, and Campbell will clear. Oswego State gets their line change.
13 seconds remaining, and if you're at Gosick, you're happy. That was a really clean penalty kill for Oswego State, something that they did well against Potsdam last night as Allen lays the boom on Egan. And Oswego State trying to clear the zone, and they're going to kill off the penalty once again. A good job by the Oswego State penalty kill unit.
And it's Lawson here, forces back to the point. Shot goes wide, misses McCartney. But Middleton will keep it in momentarily, and it almost goes out of play. Brown with it here. Finds Emerson, and he's got to him with Molinaro. He holds up for Brown. Cutting down low for Emerson, or for Molinaro, excuse me. Back out in front. Shot! Deflects out of play. Heavy shot by Tyler Curry, and he's not happy. He wanted to get that on net.
Yeah, he definitely did, because the Lakers had traffic in front, something that we've brought up quite a few times on this broadcast. They finally had some men parked down low, and Joey Molinaro and Derek Brown, and now the referee making a signal. Not sure exactly what they're going to do. It looks like a timeout has been called. Might have been by Plattsburgh, but we'll have to see what they announce.
Yeah, and it looks like Oswego really has them hemmed in on these chances. And for the Lakers, you have the opportunities, but with just about 15 minutes or so left in this game, you've got to generate something.
Yeah,
or 12:29, excuse me.
Yeah, Oswego State, they've got to get something. Actually, a timeout by Plattsburgh, an interesting call. I guess they didn't like what they were seeing there, and Oswego State's really upped the pressure on the forecheck. They really have to, down 2 goals. They've got to get, like you said, that first goal to try to open the floodgates.
And if you're Coach Gosick, what are you trying to do? Getting traffic in front of the net here. You really want to get some traffic, generate the offense that way, cycle, play your game. And the best way that the Lakers can do it is cycle down low, use your physicality, use your board battle, and hopefully when you're the Lakers, you're able to generate something and tire out the defense.
Even when you get a shot from the post there, from Tyler Curry, that's a good shot. The Lakers like that. They like the opportunities for rebounds just to keep Parita active in front, and another faceoff coming down in the zone, another opportunity to try to get a deflection. They've just been so close to getting the stick on the puck a couple of times, but just unable to hammer it home so far.
And of course, after these final 12 minutes, 29 seconds of gameplay, you can catch the guys back in the Al Roker studio in Oswego with the post-game show wrapping up the final game of the regular season for the Lakers as they leave out Emerson's line alongside Molinaro and Brown. Emerson wins it, but Plattsburgh able to contain it. That's Middleton finding Sloan, who loses the puck in his skates, and he's going to have to fire it in, but it goes into the Oswego State bench.
Yeah, a little bit of fire there into the Oswego State bench, but Plattsburgh State's been, content to lay back on defense, but that's where Oswego State needs to keep the pressure up because Plattsburgh really hasn't generated great offensive opportunities. Even all the way back to the first period, they really have been kind of slowing down the tempo, playing their brand of hockey. Maybe got a little bit tired out trying to run with the Lakers, but they've set up nicely using the size to their advantage, and Oswego State really has not been able to counter. It's been a great job by this Cardinals attack.
Engvall fires on net, and Riche has no problem covering that up.
Another face-off within the zone. They're going to have to reset the defense, and interesting pairing here, Curry and Novick out there for the Lakers. Also Travis Broman and Joey Passero. So maybe a little bit of a new try of a D combo between Novick and Curry. We'll see if Passero can win this face-off. You got to at least tie up Sloan here, as he does.
And these are two guys in Curry and Novick that generate a lot of offense, two power play specialists in their own right. So trying to generate offense. There's Broman firing a shot, and Parita saves that again. And Broman with some crashing the net hard. And I can't quite make the number, but it's Draben who takes a whack at him.
Also Engvall up in there involved once again, the 6'7" body. But Broman, the freshman, another shot where, you just want to set up within your own, within the Plattsburgh zone, try to win the faceoff, create something from there. But Travis Broman has not been really intimidated by much of anything this year as a freshman. And even when we talked to Gosick before, Coach Ed Gosick before the game, he kind of mentioned, Broman's no longer really a freshman. He's a veteran on this team, and he's been a leader, but maybe a little bit of a cheap shot there. Want to avoid that in the future.
Right, he may be a freshman, but he's not 18 or 19 years old. He played a couple years in junior hockey, and he's got to be at least 20, 21 years old. So he is a grown man in his own right, as you said, and a really talented hockey player, one that probably could have went Division I. Oswego State trying to hem in the Cardinals as their fans are trying to rally them back into this game. Big stretch pass, good touch by DeFelice to negate the icing and force Curry to back check. Ovchinnikov loses an edge, and DeFelice picks it up. Fires across the ice for Barber at the half wall, loses to Broman, and now they've got an opportunity with Passero. Passero working on Malafronte. He'll circle back, as the Lakers were in the middle of a line change.
Just a bad possession there from Solo. You have time to set up, and a little bit of an errant pass, and Plattsburgh State hasn't been able to set up, but the Lakers haven't either. So it's been a really back-and-forth battle in the neutral zone, really, in the third period, and Oswego State running out of time to tally that first goal.
Right, and that, of course, favors Plattsburgh when you're battling the clock if you're the Lakers. And now it's Scorpio trying to generate something. A little nice move, loses Barber for a moment, but he's forced to fire it in deep. Great play by Barber. Pizzo can't get it out, and now it's Scorpio out of the slot to Pelnick. He'll cut down behind the goal line, evades the ref, and fire it back out in front. Looking for a pass, and just one too many was Nanadol, as no one was home for that one.
You said one too many from Nanadol. He probably could have got a shot off there, but he kind of turned around and fired it without looking, and it could have been a good chance for Oswego State, but instead, it's another missed one.
Solo keeps it in momentarily, but it looks like it pops out of play with 10:31 to go in the third period.
Oswego State owning the unofficial shot margin on the scoreboard, 27-16, and Riche really kind of having a sneaky, quiet, solid night back behind the pipe since that first period. He stopped everything he's seen, and he made a couple of nice moves that they're not going to show up in the save chart, but just blocking post to post. He's done well on the ground tonight.
Barry enters the zone, and he'll fire it. Rebound, scores! Tyson Kirkby, his second collegiate goal, and he gets the Lakers within one, 10:22 left.
That's that lucky bounce that the Lakers needed to kind of try to open those floodgates. Canberry just fired a shot there, and the goal there from Kirkby is a huge one for the Lakers, and a big generation from that second line. Tyson Kirkby, the freshman, his second goal on the year, and Canberry, like you mentioned, a lot of points against this Plattsburgh team, and that could be another one there as a great play off the pads of Parita, and that rebound goal for Oswego State.
And that's a huge one, and it's a 2-on-1. And that's the best way you're going to score if you're playing D3 hockey, because these goaltenders aren't quite good enough to get all the way across, especially when it's a rebound like that. So great play by Barry to force the rebound And then Kirkby does a great job, very active and strong on his stick. Great hand-eye coordination to accept the rebound and fire it home quickly.
Yeah, great awareness there from Tyson Kirkby. And this wasn't the line, maybe we were expecting to generate a point, but they've been playing gritty, been playing hard all game. And Cameron Berry finally rewarded on the ice. He's had quite a solid game just getting in there and creating havoc, and a great opening there for the Lakers. Now a whole half of a period to try to tie this game up.
And if you're the Lakers, you want to come out strong as Plattsburgh ices the puck here. 10:05 left in the game. You've got to come out strong here with Emerson, Molinaro, and Brown. You want to cycle down low, and they're actually going to change it here and send out Broman, Spink, and Pissarro, the heavy artillery, if you will, trying to generate something with the momentum.
Yeah, look at a guy like Travis Broman to kind of park down low, see if he can get that big body in front for a deflection. There he goes, right in front of the Parita to try to create some deflections in front, back up to the point.
And Allen fires it in off the back wall, and Parita has no problem covering that up to try to slow something down. And now Arajo batting a little bit with Spink, but nothing going on there.
Perfectly fine for the Lakers. Reset on the face-off dot, and kind of a lull almost to this Plattsburgh State crowd where they saw the 2 goals in the first period, but Oswego State there trying to shift the momentum here on senior night, now down 2-1. 9:54 remaining in the game. You want to get a quick one here, though, if you're Oswego State. Don't leave it for the last 5 minutes. Try to take advantage here.
Carter Allen with it here as the red zone trying to get their team back into it. The loud, rambunctious student section here in Plattsburgh.
Yeah, it's been a real treat. These are some good fans here in Plattsburgh State. And it's been fun to be in a different arena, a different environment here, as the red zone has been loud and rambunctious all game long, trying to cheer on Plattsburgh State. And for Plattsburgh State, maybe try to get something going on offense. They've been a little bit conservative sitting back on defense, and that's really what led to that Canberra goal, maybe falling asleep a little bit on the defensive end.
And as the PA announcer announced, 1,900 here in the arena. Not quite Oswego, but the capacity is much different from the Stafford Ice Arena to the Morano Campus Center Ice Arena. A shot by Pelnick goes wide all the way around to Carter Allen, and he'll fire it in. The ref gets a little bit in the way, but that helps Oswego State as Pissarro's able to jump in on it. They lose it, but Broman, using his body, knocks his man off the puck. Solo with a shot goes back around to the half wall for Pelnick at the point. He fans on it, and now Sloan's got a chance. Sloan in alone on breakaway, and a great job by Oswego State to get back. And a really good chance there on the 3-on-2, and there's going to be a penalty here on Oswego State, a slashing call, but one you might be happy with if you're Coach Gosick, because you had a breakaway for Sloan, who's netted a handful of goals here in his senior campaign. 4 goals in just about 15 SUNYAC games.
Yeah, Pelnick's going to get that slashing penalty, and after the whiff pass, a breakaway for Plattsburgh State. And like you said, Matt, I think that might have been best case scenario if you're Oswego State with, no shot on Richer there, which is the good news. But the bad news is with 9 minutes remaining, you've got to kill off yet another Plattsburgh State power play.
Pelnick's the man going to the box who whiffed on the shot, and that's a tough loss for him, who he's had a pretty solid game. He made 1 or 2 nifty passes, but shanking that one's really tough as Oswego State will clear the length of the ice to Parita. Isaac on the forecheck forces Parita to go to Walgren. Will send it back to Arajow, the Long Island native, leading this team, leading this defense in points with 14 coming into tonight. McCarthy here, tied up at the blue line with Campbell, over to Isaac. Nanadol with it, loses it to Walgren.
Oswego State once again keeping that pressure on. They don't even allow Plattsburgh State to enter the zone, and that's where the penalty kill unit is at its best. Don't even allow the Cardinals to get set up on the point, and that's where you want to be for Coach Gosick.
Malfronte with a shot, big save by Richer on the one-timer. Campbell unable to chip it to Zizek off the boards, but Zizek loses it and gets it back to Arajow at the point. To Walgren, shot from center point, hits a man, rebound out in front, and a big blocking effort by Max Novick forces the puck out of play.
We've highlighted Novick on the offensive end quite a bit. 7 goals, 14 assists on the year, but he's a defenseman primarily, and a great job there blocking the shot, getting out there to dive and protect his goalie Richer, who would have had a tough time getting over there, but Novick blocks that puck away, and a great play for Oswego State.
And you talk about the aggressive penalty kill. They had all 4 of their guys within 3 or 4 feet of the blue line when Plattsburgh was trying to enter the zone, and that makes it that much difficult to try to enter the zone if you're Plattsburgh.
And on the flip side of that argument, if you're Oswego State, maybe just be a little bit aware of the 2-on-1 opportunities that we saw in the first period, because if you're a little bit over-aggressive, as the crowd getting a little rambunctious, as Emerson wasn't kicked out of that face-off circle.
Yeah, and he cheated a couple times, but the linesman and refs say play on as Molinaro picks it up, and he'll fire at the length of the ice. forcing Pareto to come out of his net once more.
Molinaro's done a great job clearing the puck on this power play. Draben kind of hanging back here as the aggressive forecheck. They're trying to counter it with a man kind of almost cherry-picking away at the other blue line.
Carter Allen takes the puck off his man, and now he's got a chance. 3-on-2 for the Lakers. And a great play by Pizzo, forcing the Lakers just to punch it in deep. And Pareto with a risky play, playing the puck side Emerson.
Doesn't really look even like a power play opportunity for Plattsburgh State, as Oswego State's really controlled the puck well on this opportunity.
25 seconds left on the power play for Plattsburgh. 7:36 left in the game, and they'll chip it in deep. Carter Allen beats his man to it. He'll get it once more, but DeFelice picks it off him. DeFelice cutting in, hit down, no call, and Barry's got a 2-on-1 with Allen. In alone, tries to cut to the net, and Engvall does a good job angling him off. Barry gets a decent shot, but really an easy save as he's behind the net for Pareto.
Barry's been more of a passer tonight, but decided for the shot there.
DeFelice cutting in, back up for Draben, loses it to Pelnick, and Pelnick gets it to Barry. Barry 1-on-3 will dump it in. End of the power play, just about 7 minutes left in the game.
Looks like Barry needs some fresh legs there as he gets off the ice, but a great run there. And now an icing call against Plattsburgh, and they can't make that crucial line change. So good momentum shift for Oswego State to kill off that penalty, but it did waste a good 2 minutes of 5-on-5 hockey, so now only 6:57 remaining in this game.
But the Lakers sending out that Pissarro line, who has been really solid all night. They're waiting for their chance to score, and Travis Broman has a knack for scoring those big goals. You saw 2 goals of his scored against Geneseo, and he's hungry to get another one after missing last night's game. Novik picks up the puck at his own blue line, will hold it a little bit, waits, forces Sloan to go wide, and he'll cut into the middle of the ice. Back out to Campbell at the point, back over to Novik at the half wall. Cuts back over to Campbell, and he misses wide, and Oswego State's going to have to touch back up onside. Pissarro slides it in, and Pareto will touch up.
Yeah, and Broman getting in there, getting aggressive on the forecheck, trying to create something in front of the net there.
And Broman almost with it in tight, unable to corral that puck as Engvall picks it up. And they're going to try to change. Egan wanted the puck there, but had not much room for it. And Novik picks off the puck. He's got a chance here. Leaves it for Spink, and a tough pass. Handcuffs Spink. Other way goes the Plattsburgh Cardinals. And now it's Owens 2-on-2. Has Egan with him. Good save by Riche, and almost goes in. Touches the side of the cage.
A little bit of a weird angle there on that save from Riche.
And McCartney tries to find a shot. Good play by Pissarro. And Broman picks it off of Curry. Over to Pissarro. Back over to Broman. Back out in front to Curry. Shot. Save. No one home for the rebound as Allen gets back at the point. Shot. Just goes wide. And Rich McCartney will pick it up in his own end. The man's only got 2 assists since the December 8th game against Oswego. He was the leading scorer for Plattsburgh last year in his rookie campaign.
Great job by Oswego State trying to get something going. A lot of chaos in front of the net. And that's where you're going to score as the puck is flicked once again into the Oswego State bench. But some grade A opportunities there in the high slot, eventually to Carter Allen, but it really started with Travis Broman and that rush and that speed and that size of the freshman.
And for Oswego State, it almost seems as if they're one man short in the sense that they don't have that one guy in the spot that the puck bounces out to. And usually we're used to seeing that for the Lakers, so something for them has got to change, clicking on all cylinders, trying to get some sustained zone time as Tyler Curry takes it into the blue line, across the blue line. Fires shot, rebound, shot, good block by Pizzo, and he forces it into the wall.
Pizzo might have saved a goal there. Another one from Kirkby. He's really planted on that short side and done a good job on rebounds.
Plattsburgh, no problem to pin it up against the wall, trying to kill time as 5:10 is just about left here in this third period in the regular season for both teams as it's senior night here in Plattsburgh. Draben, Allen knocks him down after he clears it, and there might be a penalty here. No, that was going to be an icing call, but a good job by Plattsburgh to touch up. Curry stick checks Falanga, but no call there. Curry still with it, loses it to Falanga again, and he's along by the dots. Curry checking him hard into the boards. Got to be careful not to take a penalty here, and it might be a tripping on Curry, it seems, as Falanga's down hard. And they're going to call that, I believe, a cross check, and that's a tough call. 4:41 left in this game.
Yeah, Oswego's going to have to kill off yet another penalty, and the student section is not very happy with Tyler Curry right now as Falanga, unfortunately, still on the ground, and hopefully he'll be able to get back on his feet as he slowly does. And we'll see if he can make his way to the bench under his own power. Another scary hit there, and this time it results in a penalty.
And for Oswego State, it seemed like Curry was trying to battle with him, and it almost seemed like Falanga lost an edge, and once he did, and Curry pushes him in the back, gives him a two-hander, he's going into the board. So fortunately for Falanga, he gets off the ice under his own power, but for the Lakers, you've got a 2-minute penalty to kill, and after that, you've got 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. But this is a team with a handful of shorthanded goals, a couple from their defense with Curry and Novik. And, of course, Sullivan's got 2 of his own here in tonight, so they'll try to generate something on this.
We'll see if they stay aggressive once again here on this penalty kill unit. They really have to be to try to get that shorthanded goal, like you mentioned.
Stallard behind the net, over to Egan, back onto the point for Wahlgren. Walks to the center point, back over to Egan, excuse me. Shot for Wahlgren, it goes wide. Behind the net now, Owens with it. Good job by Riche, but Aragel back in tight. And he'll find it to Egan and back to Wahlgren at the point. Stallard with it, back to Aragel at the point. Finds Wahlgren at center point, holds. Finds down low for Egan. Aragel drifting. Wahlgren now handcuffed on the pass, and he has to get it to Stallard. Cole Stallard, stick checked by Molinaro, no call. Looked like his stick got in around the hands of Stallard.
Yeah, watch the slash there from Molinaro. Good job. Good no call by the refs, letting him play there.
And Carter Allen will find it only to the half wall as Wahlgren does a good job getting in the way of that one. And Sloan keeps it in. Or excuse me, that's Egan. Back to Stallard across ice, no one home. Egan picks up the loose puck. Devin Campbell on him. He's got time and space over to Stallard. Shot. What a oh, and it goes wide by Owens. He had a yawning cage, unable to do anything. And it might be another penalty here on Emerson. Bodies down in front. And
Yeah,
a couple
like
Plattsburgh Cardinals down. It looks like it's Egan who is slow to get up. He might have gotten slashed by Emerson, who's trying to clear the puck.
Yeah, it looked like a brutal play down in that corner, and Plattsburgh calling for an ejection. I'm not sure. Looks like 2 Plattsburgh State players are down in that corner, and Egan luckily up to his feet. I can't quite catch the number. It looks like it's Wahlgren, number 55, also down for Plattsburgh. And just, you like to see Plattsburgh State able to get up on that, but a huge penalty on Oswego State. As Emerson going to the bench, much to the applause of this Plattsburgh State crowd, and they are not happy with him, as now the Lakers are down 5-on-3 with 3:28 remaining, and this is just the nightmare scenario if you're Oswego State.
And I don't know if I love that call if you're the referees. Ticky-tacky as Emerson goes to clear, loses his edge, falls down as he's swinging for that puck. He ends up incidentally hitting the Cardinal player, and I guess that's a slash, but it was definitely incidental, and he was falling down trying to clear the puck.
Yeah, it was a quick call by the referee on our side. He put up the arm really fast on that penalty, maybe didn't really think it through. It looked malicious, but from a replay perspective, I'm not sure if it was as big of a hit as this loud crowd is making it sound like here. As 5-on-3, just a tough situation for Oswego State.
And they've got to kill this off here, as it's Stallard, the captain, winning it, gets it back to Wahlgren. Walks the line to Arajau, slides in a little bit, over to Wahlgren. Back down low for Egan. He'll circle back in now low for Owens. Owens looking for a seam. Back to Egan. Fires it across in a good active body as Allen blocking that one. And Campbell comes out to the point now. Arajau with it. 5-on-2 for Plattsburgh momentarily as Campbell races back. And now to Arajau at the point, slowing things down. Oswego State can't be as aggressive here. Wahlgren fakes the shot over to Egan. Good play by Wahlgren, now back with it. Over to Stallard, hesitates. Good save by Riche. Rebound out in front, and it's a clear, and a huge one at that by Carter Allen. Parita not letting Oswego change here. Arajau back in, slowing things down quite a bit. Curry back on the ice, and Oswego's cutting this deficit to 5-on-4 now.
The ref gets taken down there, and Oswego State, it's going to be tough because you can't pull your goalie. He's still down 5-4, but they've got to kill off this second penalty. Still a minute left in that one, and then only a little over a minute at even strength. So it's going to be, we'll see how Ed Gosick coaches this last couple of minutes.
And Pizzo streaking in here. Hard stop, but Nanadel hits him pretty hard. Barber out at the point with it. Back down for Lawson. Back out to Barber at the point. For Pizzo, he'll take his time over to Barber. Pizzo shot, goes wide. Lawson can't corral it, but Barber will pick it up, and a big hit by Barry on him. Sloan with it now. Pelnick bodies him. Got to watch the loose stick, as there might be a hold or a sticking call. Oswego State just able to clear past Barber.
We'll see if they need an aggressive forecheck here, and Cam Berry's the guy that they want. He's big. He's a big forward, and we'll see if they can create a turnover. They've got to get something going in terms of offense, even down 5-on-4.
10 seconds left in this penalty. 1:35 left in the game. Engvall with it. Shot. And it just gets tipped. Riche couldn't find it on the tip, but it goes wide. And Oswego State will clear, and there does the penalty. 1:25 left in the game here. And Oswego State returns to full strength. They've got to find a way to pull Riche. But with Middleton, Richey's forced to stay in net as Plattsburgh has it. Saved by Richey, and Broman will pick it up in tight. Loses the puck. Shot fanned on it, and Campbell will pick it up as we wait for Richey to clear. And he is being held off as Oswego State just dumps it in. And now he's being sent off the ice. Out in front, Broman, nothing going. And Parita will cover it with 1 minute left here in the first period, in the final frame. Of course, after this final 61 seconds, you can catch the post game from the Al Roker studio as Brian Rudman and the guys will have this exciting final 61 seconds, plus the rest of the game that was.
And now it looks like Richey will be out of the game, and Oswego State, a crucial face-off. They have to win this setup, and I believe they're going to call their timeout and just set up. Great call by Coach Ed Gosick there, obviously a veteran of the game and a great hockey mind, a good timeout there. They've got to set up something here, and it looks like they're going to have the big guns in for this face-off.
Yeah, this is quite the battle of two coaches, as you've got for Plattsburgh, Bob Emery, his 30th season, and he entered the season in top 2 in wins among active D3 coaches. And of course, you've got Coach Gosick, who last season won his 500th game, so he's not too far behind, although there's about a 100-win gap.
Yeah, these are two historic programs, and Coach Gosick, you know, before the game when we talked to him, he mentioned this rivalry has been built because of these historic games. You have historic coaches, historic players, and we'll see exactly what's going on here, as looks like they're just discussing the penalties that were just assessed. And it looks like Egan's in the box right now for a game misconduct. Not sure exactly what happened there.
And it sounded like they said 10-minute misconduct, and with that, there might be a penalty. So we'll have to wait and see. The board says nothing so far. But Oswego State's able to go up 6-4. Despite Plattsburgh's tremendous penalty kill, Oswego State's got to try to get on the board here.
Yeah, Egan here on senior night. That's a big mistake if it costs the Cardinals a man here. But we'll see Oswego State rolling out 6 men, and we'll see. It looks like it's going to be 5 for Plattsburgh State. And yes, it is.
Yeah, it will be 5. It will be 5, so no power play for the Lakers. But they've still got a man advantage with Richey out of the net.
Buckle up. Minute and 1 to go here on senior night. Oswego State down by 1. They've got to get something going off this faceoff.
Zizek loses it, but the puck is kept in by Molinaro. Molinaro cycles in deep. Now for Emerson. Back to Molinaro. Cycles down low behind the net. Here at the circle is Zizek at the half wall. 45 seconds left. Back down low. Out in front for Broman. Shot. And it goes wide along the ice. Molinaro now behind his own net. Body along the boards by Arajau. And Passero cannot keep it. But he keeps it. Shot by Broman. Off the post. He hit the post with the shot. And it goes out of play. 32 seconds left in the game.
Hit the post with the shot, like you said, Matt. Travis Broman, he reeled that one up, and we kind of talked about Broman. Seems like he's ready to get on the scoreboard, but with 32 seconds, he's just unable to, and what an exciting sequence here. It's going to be a wild finish, another classic between these two rivals.
And it seemed like Campbell was talking to the referee, Kenny, as I read the back of his jersey, complaining about the 10-minute misconduct, but no power play to come of that.
He's got to get off the ice here. The Lakers have 7 men on the ice as now Campbell reluctantly will skate back to the bench.
Zizek will take the faceoff again, and it looks like he might win it back to Broman on this set faceoff play. And if they win the faceoff, look for Molinaro to crash the net on the Broman shot.
Also, someone to watch, as always, is Novik, who's set up there at the point. We'll see if the puck gets deflected back to him if he can get that shot. And Joey Molinaro kind of parking in that spot where maybe Mike Gillespie is the guy you'd usually have there. Obviously, a big loss for the Lakers in a situation like this.
Right, but with Passero on that point, what he brings is that vision and that passing that Gillespie doesn't bring. Gillespie's got the shot, but Passero's got the pass. And if you could look to try to cross the back door and find that seam, there's going to be a lot of bodies in front. But he's perfect at threading the needle.
Yeah, 19 assists on the year for Passero, and this would be a good time to get number 20 if you're Oswego State.
Zizek wins faceoff over to Broman. Back out for Novik to Passero. Shot blocked down by Engvall, and Plattsburgh will clear, and just missing the empty net is the captain, Ross Sloan. 21 seconds left here in the game.
Sloan was voted the fan favorite. He would have been the fan favorite if he buried that empty netter to put Plattsburgh up 3-1, but just missed by a couple of feet, and now Oswego State, another set play off the faceoff, and it looks like Broman once again is going to be parked behind Zizek. Novik at the point, and Passero to the right of Broman.
Zyzik battling for this faceoff, as you said, Luke. And the referees are going to send one of them out of the draw. Or maybe they'll just call for a reset here. Both men remain in the faceoff dot. Both cheating, needing to win this faceoff. And it's tied up. Engvall's stick is tied up. Broman wins it back to Passero. Fires it over to Novik. Fakes the shot, looks in for Zyzik. Shot saved by Parita, and he'll stop the clock with 13 seconds left.
Yeah, they're going to get chippy in front, but especially for Oswego State, and they're going to call a penalty. I believe it's on Engvall, who they pointed to the box as they're signaling him out. There's still some movement in front. It's getting chippy. Oswego State, you can't afford a penalty here as Sloan, it is Sloan grabbing the stick there, but Engvall looks like he's headed off to the box. You can't afford a penalty here if you're Oswego State. And it looks like they did avoid that penalty.
And that's big because you lose a big guy in Engvall who's 6'7", a huge shot-blocking defenseman. But it looks like Molinaro will go off as well.
Yeah, and let's not forget, these two teams, there's a good chance they'll meet next Saturday at the Marano Campus Center if Plattsburgh State takes care of business on Wednesday in the SUNYAC playoffs. And judging off the ice right now, these teams do not like each other, and this bad blood could spill over into next weekend.
And, of course, Oswego State locks up the 2 seed. They'll have a first-round bye, not having to play on Wednesday night. Plattsburgh, the 3, if they win, as you said, Luke. We'll see this matchup back in Oswego, and, boy, I'll be excited for that one.
Yeah, you talk about a rowdy barn tonight. How about the atmosphere we'd see at Oswego State on Saturday night? And Oswego State, they're not out of this game yet. 13 seconds to go. And once again, it looks like they're going to send 5 men out right now. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here.
And it's going to be 5-on-4 as both teams go 4 a side. Riche pulled, gives Oswego 5, and that helps them in the sense that there's going to be more open lanes for Passero to find those passes. Oswego loses the face-off, but they're battling for it. Gets it to Novik, over to Passero, looking for something. Shot, saved by Parita, 5 seconds left, and Plattsburgh will hold it in the boards. 3-2-1, game over, and the Cardinals win on senior night, and this crowd is going wild.
Yeah, and the players kind of going wild in that corner a little bit too. As Middleton kind of got in there, Novik now tangled up. And this is the last thing you want to see. It looks like both teams looking to maybe empty the benches as Emerson going at it in the corner. And you don't want to see this, especially after the game ends, because this is going to be a lot of sorting out to do.
And with the gloves off, you might see a potential suspension coming up as fighting is not allowed in college hockey.
And this is the worst time for a suspension. We're nearing playoffs next weekend. This game, of course, matters for both teams, but their seeds are locked in, and you don't want guys sitting out in those playoff games as the extracurriculars just continue between these two teams, and they finally get them separated. That's it.
And Plattsburgh sure does love their horn as they signal their win once again, and a big win at that. But what a game overall. Lakers battling back hard. They could just not find the goal as Parita was stellar tonight.
Yeah, he was stellar, and especially on that last play. Oswego State was unable to get that tip, but there was a lot of traffic in front, and now the handshake line will ensue as Plattsburgh State celebrating with the mascot and their home crowd here, which was electric tonight.
And it looks like it's Travis Broman was collecting the helmet of Molinaro, or Mitch Emerson, excuse me, trying not to get any more fights as Broman's known to do. And despite the rivalry, so much respect from these two teams, and it really all starts with the coaching staff in Gosick and Coach Bob Emery for Plattsburgh, as it seems like the fans here in Plattsburgh are not getting that friendship. They're booing the Lakers as they shake.
Yeah, they're going to shake hands here, but it could be a see you next week as we kind of teased before. But what a game between these two teams. It was physical. It was that kind of classic hockey battle that we've seen a couple times in the SUNYAC this year, especially when you have teams like Plattsburgh and Oswego State. They're gritty, they're big, they're tough, they're physical, but they can also have some finesse on the offensive end. A good game from both teams, but Oswego State's got to get back to the drawing board.
And despite the battle and the fighting last second, Mitch Emerson shaking hands with every single player. As you see Curry and the captain for Plattsburgh, Ross Sloan, having a few extra words, nothing more than pleasantries. And what a game for both sides, and what a win for Plattsburgh, who wins on senior night to support these 6 seniors that they've had. Just running through them, it's Jacob Engvall, Pat Egan, Cam Owens, Cole Stallard, Ryan Kuhn, and Ross Sloan. So what a game for those guys. Really a strong performance as they salute the crowd.
Yeah, big salute to the crowd here, and they'll get honored shortly.
Now that's all the time we've got here live from the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena. After this break, The guys back at the Al Roker studio in Oswego, New York will have the post-game recap led by Brian Rudman. That's all from here in Plattsburgh, New York on WTOP 10.
When you are in space, you can't run down to the store to buy parts. You have to improvise with what you have on your mission. Making is when there is something new that was not in existence at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
It's an incredible sense of accomplishment when you have made something. That's why I make. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Back to Hockey Night in Oswego, live from the Al Roker studio here in Oswego for the final time tonight. Owen Gallagher and Zachary Haynes. I'm Brian Rudman. And guys, what a game as Plattsburgh was able to get it done on senior night with the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, not quite the game that we expected, but it ended up being an exciting finish.
I mean, that's a big thing right there. I mean, a beautiful finish to the Plattsburgh season, but a disappointing loss for Oswego tonight.
Yep.
And guys, looking back at the goals, Plattsburgh got it started off early with 2 goals in the first period within the first 10 minutes. How'd they get it done?
Just capitalizing off of Oswego mistakes, really. Plattsburgh, you look at turnovers in the defensive zone, they capitalized on those opportunities where Oswego just couldn't seem to get it done.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with your statement. They were able to catch Oswego off guard on the defensive side. They were able to score quickly, and it held out throughout the entire game.
Yeah, we'll see, like in the replays here that we're going to show in a second. There's just turnovers by Christopher Brunn being the main one that opened the scoring. That was just an unfortunate start to the game, and really kind of struggled with Richet's mentality, I'm sure, afterwards, just because that's a tough start. As you see here, shot from the slot.
You know what? Brunn did not make the right. He did not make the right choice in that. You see the face-off earlier from the first period, able to get it inside into center ice, get the screen pass, get the second goal of the game for Plattsburgh.
And guys, like we said, getting it started early. What did you see out of Oswego after that? Because they rebounded pretty well after those first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it seemed like they were kind of caught off guard at first, but they started to settle into the game. It's kind of start to feel out the flow of the game. And they played pretty well in the second, towards the end of the second period, and even into the third period. And you thought you had a chance at the end. Just came up a little short.
It was close. We were on the edge of our seats here. It's just you can't have that. You can't be starting this late in the game. That's not acceptable, especially with the semifinals coming up next week. You can't do that. You can't be starting late. You got to get started early.
The game is 60 minutes long, and I mean, we just saw here that the physicality, Plattsburgh started right from the get-go. But unfortunately, though, Oswego couldn't get it done.
And guys, let's take a look at that Oswego goal that they were able to get in the third period to try and make a comeback attempt. What did you guys see in that one?
Yeah, just a little bit of a lack of rebound control by Plattsburgh. Look at all 4 guys there. They got eyes on the puck, and no one is looking at the player going back door. That is one thing that cannot happen, and Tyson Kirkby got his second career goal of the game that way.
And, you know, that was a perfect draw play for them right there for the Lakers. They were able to draw all the defenders away, get it to pass to the right post. It was just an easy goal for them, and unfortunately, they didn't get many opportunities like that.
And guys, now we're going to be able to take a look at the 3 guys who scored in this game. What did they do overall in this game to be able to put themselves on the score sheet?
Well, I mean, DeFelice, honestly, it just starts with hard work. He was forechecking, and he got the steal, and then he was just right there in the slot to bury that goal. Tom Bowie is just being in the right spot at the right time.
I mean, he got the assist from Liam Lawson. It was a very good assist from him. He was able to get that score. And Tyson Kirkby, nobody really expected him to get that score, but he was able to sneak around the defenders and get in from the right post.
Kirkby, I mean, he's one of the replacements that we were talking about earlier. You got guys who are injured for the Lakers right now. You need people to step up, and Tyson Kirkby did tonight.
And that's a big thing. He was able to step up. We had guys who weren't able to step up, but Kirkby was able to fill in those skates tonight.
And guys, talking about the game as a whole, what were your thoughts on what the Lakers were able to do in Plattsburgh with the 2-1 loss?
Well, I mean, you got to have a couple things to take away from here. First off, you got to be prepared right from the get-go, because at this point in the season, it's lose or go home. You're not sure about. You have to win the SUNYACs to guarantee your spot in the NCAA tournament, and if you don't win the SUNYAC championship, then you're kind of left in limbo. You're not sure. You leave it up to a committee, and no one wants that this time of year.
They got to get started right away. They can't be stalling for time. They can't think of a strategy. They need to go right as soon as they hit the ice. From the first puck drop, they got to be able to go and start the offense immediately.
And part of that actually does have to do with those injuries. If they can get some of those key pieces back, I mean, you're going to start to see their power play clicking. I mean, this could honestly be a different team that we see next Saturday than what we just saw on the ice in Plattsburgh.
And guys, now we're going to be able to take a look at the full screen stats from this game. What did these stats tell you about how this game went?
I mean, from the stats, it looks like you probably would have seen Oswego win 2-1, maybe like 3-1, even with the amount of shots that they had. It just weren't quality shots. They had the quantity, not the quality, though, and that's going to hurt you in the end.
And the other thing, the faceoffs this season, they've been winning the faceoff battles, but they haven't been really converting to offensive opportunities for them.
And guys, this is a rivalry game. We talked about it all night long, and this rivalry game really got aggressive.
Oh, very quickly, too. I mean, we talked about seeing highlights in the first period all the way through to the final period, to the final horn, and even then some after that. We saw some scuffles. Just big hits on the ice, which is usually playing to Oswego's strengths. But as you see here, Zizek getting hit into the boards. It just seemed like Plattsburgh not only matched Oswego's level of physicality, but they went above that.
That's a big thing, too, is the physicality of this game. And you see right there, number 5 just getting slammed right into the boards by the Cardinals. They're moving around, and even in the center ice, and definitely more physicality. People were going down all the time throughout the game, and it just got worse and worse until that boiling point all the way to the end.
And guys, we really saw a big scuffle at the end. Do you think that was some visible frustration out of the Lakers, as we can see here?
Definitely. You can tell that the Lakers were not only frustrated with Plattsburgh, but also with themselves, I think. A lot of this is Oswego didn't play to the level that they expected to, and that probably Gosick holds them to, at least I would hope. And that's just frustration being taken out. You know, you never want to see this after a game, especially with playoffs coming up. You hope no repercussions happen after this to any of the players, both Plattsburgh and Oswego.
I mean, if you're Gosick right now, you got to be really disappointed in your players right now. There might be punishments handed out for that scuffle right at the end. That's a big thing for them, is that you're already losing players to injury. The last thing you need is to lose players for just dumb decisions.
And guys, tonight we didn't see either Michael Gillespie or Josh LeBlanc in the game, and the Oswego offense really struggled. Those were two guys who were key throughout the season. How did that affect them tonight?
Clearly affected them on the power play. Tyson Kirkby, of course, stepped up on that even strength goal. That's one thing going forward even into next season as we start to kind of look ahead. Can't look ahead too far, obviously, but looking ahead into next season, Tyson Kirkby is going to be a name to watch. But like I said, you're missing a couple key pieces that affects your special teams more than anything.
I mean, their presence was definitely felt, or the lack of presence, I should say. They were not there. They were not able to cook that offense in those special teams as they usually were. The guys, they were trying to step up towards the end, but it just didn't work out for them. They weren't able to get that spark as they usually do with Gillespie and LeBlanc.
And guys, we saw in this game Josh Zizek and Mitch Emerson both take some big hits, and they were struggling to get off the ice at the time. They did return to the action, but how impactful would it be if, for some reason, they're not able to return?
That's definitely going to be something to look forward to this week, as you see Zizek getting hit there. But again, that has further implications as far as the playoffs are concerned. So you're not sure what's going to happen. You hope that Gillespie can return in a timely manner, and maybe even have to fill in for one of these guys if they go down.
That's a big thing. You don't want more players to go down, especially now when you're getting ready for that semifinal matchup coming up next weekend. You're not sure who you're playing right now, and you don't know what pieces are going to be returning for that next weekend. So you got to be careful of all that, and hopefully they'll all return.
And that next men up mentality is huge on this team. You're looking at an Oswego State team. Even the guys at the end of the bench, they're still gamers. I mean, these guys are going to have to step up and be ready to play, just like Tyson Kirkby was. And I think that's kind of a testament to any guys at the end of the bench, you know, who are looking to get some playing time, some minutes. You could be seeing some serious time now in the playoffs.
And guys, in this game, Oswego really didn't look like themselves. It was a 2-1 loss. How does a loss like this affect your mindset and morale headed into the playoffs?
It's tough, man. I mean, this is a team that, again, the saying is just becoming evident where they can't perform in the prime time. When the game matters most, they seem to struggle. Go Six got to do something to rally this team up. I mean, your head coach, you look to him not only for the strategy, but you look for him to kind of give that morale boost if you're needing it. And some of like the older guys on the team as well, some of the upperclassmen really need to step up.
That's a big thing. Like people need to start stepping up on this team. There was a lack of veterans on the team tonight, and that clearly showed against that Plattsburgh team. Another thing you got to look out for the Lakers next week is just the chemistry. I think Gosek touched on it a little bit. There's a little bit lack of chemistry on that team, and that definitely showed tonight when they weren't able to pass the puck around.
And guys, we have a quick update from the Potsdam versus Cortland game in the SUNYAC. Potsdam won it 5-2, a good way to end the season for them after a season where they really saw some struggles.
Yeah, they did. But honestly, this is a great step for them going forward. They'll be competitive next year, I think, in the SUNYAC. You'll see them return to the SUNYAC playoffs. Unfortunate season for them this year, but this is a good stepping stone for where their program is.
And you know, Cortland has to take these last two games as a learning step into the future. I know they're not exactly the most experienced team when it comes to playoffs and playing these ranked opponents and stuff, but Potsdam 5-2, that's not something that you want. And then playing Plattsburgh the night before 5-1, they got to switch it around for them.
And guys, going back to Oswego, if you're Ed Gosek in the locker room right now, what's your message to your guys trying to get their mind right for the playoffs that are upcoming?
Oof, that's a good one, dude. I don't know. Like, if you're Ed Gosek, you got to analyze this game as a whole. First and foremost, you didn't get off to a good start. That's part coaching. That's also on the responsibility of some of the players. You have to be prepared when you lace up your skates 60 minutes on the ice. That's the first and foremost issue. Second issue, you got to work on your special teams. The penalty kill did very well today. They didn't allow any power play goals today, and Plattsburgh had numerous opportunities, 4 or 5, I believe, power plays for them on the night. So again, you look at your special teams, you look at what you did right. You also have to analyze what you did wrong. You got to look at that a little bit, but you can't focus on the wrong parts of this going into the playoffs.
I mean, the aggression towards the end, it's okay to be aggressive in this sport, but that fight at the end, that's not good. That shows a lack of leadership on his part, but also among the teammates and stuff. That is just not good. That's something you don't want going into the playoffs.
And a lack of discipline. We saw that on that last slash call. That's just uncalled for. I mean, Ed Gosek, I'm sure, is going to have a talk with some of those players, but like some of that stuff you just don't want to see towards the end of the season, because then you know that your opponents have gotten under your skin and into your head.
Definitely. And guys, as we head towards the SUNYAC tournament, it gets kicked off on Wednesday. Plattsburgh will host Brockport. Buffalo State will host Fredonia. One of those teams will end up coming to Oswego next Saturday for that game. It may be Buff or Fredonia. What do you think Oswego should do if they have to face one of those teams?
Well, I mean, that's a tough position to be in because you got to prepare for 2 different play styles. Last time Buffalo State was here, you know, they put up, 6 goals, was it, on Oswego? So, again, you're kind of preparing for 2 different play styles. You got a short week of preparation, but it should be interesting.
It's going to be a very interesting matchup to see who wins Wednesday. You got one team that likes to fly around fast, score early, score a lot of points. You got another team that plays a little more conservatively. You got to watch out for both play styles. I know Fredonia likes to rain on the Lakers parade, so watch out for them too. But mostly you got to be ready for either style.
And guys, for Plattsburgh, building off tonight's game, do they just continue doing what they did tonight when they play on Wednesday?
Huge momentum boost for them coming off this weekend at home. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Plattsburgh is going to have an excellent situation now. They're going to play Wednesday. It's going to be a quick turnaround if they do win, and then they'd likely play Oswego. So, I mean, you're talking about a Plattsburgh team that has a legitimate chance to get to the SUNYAC championship. Not only do they get a home ice advantage on Wednesday, but they come to the Marano Campus Center, which is practically a home ice anyway for them. I mean, we might as well call this the birdcage. So you come to Marano Campus Center on Saturday, short week, but you're staying, hot with your play style, which isn't a bad thing.
I mean, you don't want to lose that matchup Wednesday. You want to be able to go to the SUNYAC finals and possibly play Geneseo, but there's a lot of hurdles in the way. They can't be sleeping on the next team that they have to play Wednesday.
And guys, one final question. What's the biggest thing for Oswego that they need to fix from tonight looking ahead?
I think it's your power play, and part of that is on players missing, but again, it's the next man up mentality. Tyson Kirkby finished playing very well, even strength, but again, you got to work on your special teams.
I think it's communication on the offensive side. Clearly, they didn't have their passing lanes established. They were turning the puck over regularly. That's just something you can't have, especially for a high-scoring team like this. You need to fix that before you go into your next game.
And guys, that's all the time we have for the post-game show today. The next time we will see you for Hockey Night in Oswego will be next Saturday for the SUNY AC Final. It was a 2-1 Plattsburgh victory today. Thank you very much for watching this very special away broadcast for WTOP. For Owen Gallagher, Zach Haynes, I'm Brian Rudman, and everyone else here at WTOP. Thank you for watching and have a good night.